sure.
No, it's definitely no, it's definitely good to not be on social media and trying to check in and all this stuff like all the time because should have drive you crazy, especially when you see all the foolishness going around and all the
Man, I was dealing with
crazy
that
ass
all
things.
day today.
Hey, man, you don't even know. We might as well go on and get into it, man. I'm not even doing no intro. This is the first time I've jumped on my podcast in a minute, basically since probably the right after the Super Bowl. Not even
Yeah.
kidding. I mean, I've been writing some stuff, doing some content, stuff like that. Uh, but I stayed away from the podcast a little bit because I was always too late. And being that I was always busy, so anytime like when the Bucks played and the things were going on, I had already addressed it like months and weeks ago. At the very little, I like addressed it weeks ago. When everybody else started talking about it, I was already done and moving past it. So I
Yeah.
just stopped putting out as much content. I started trying to do it in the writing form from on the website. So I kind of did it that way, and yeah, so I kind of just stepped back a little bit, and to my dismay, I'm like, man, I know I told it to a lot of cats, and I said a whole lot of stuff to a lot of folks, but I'm like, man, if more folks would have just paid attention and listened to what I was trying to tell them when I told them, I ain't got all the answers to a whole lot of stuff when it comes to this Bucks team and all these answers people looking for. But I'd be damned if I didn't tell them. If I'd be damned if
Yeah.
I didn't try to tell them. Nikki and I, one of the first podcasts I did, Nikki, and I loved it so much. I mean, Nikki went back at me because I was like, hey, what if this don't work out when Bruce Arians and Leftwich and Brady came about? I'm like, hey, like, what if this don't work out? Because this offense don't look well. I don't trust Bruce Arians, this and that. Nick was like, "Why you even worried about it? Like that's for later." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right." But we went on to win the Super Bowl with the exact same flaws that I talked about and all the stuff that I had precaution. Like we still won a Super Bowl with the offense being in neutral for 3/4 of a game and the defense carrying the weight. Here we go. Fast forward, won a Super Bowl, went through another season with a quote unquote top five offense. And here we are landing in 2022. And through 7 weeks, people are just now understanding that the Bucks have had their toughest schedule in the past 4 years. And it's all come full circle. Like the offense never got better. The defense has been carrying the team. We were relying more on talent than tactic. The coaches on the offensive side of the ball never learned or never adjusted to having to play on a level playing field when it comes from a talent side because they always had the well, not always, but for the past 2 years, they've had an upper hand having a loaded roster. And here we go, looking at again a team with injuries, a coaching change, which should not have been that big of a deal, to be honest with you, and now adversity 7 weeks into the season. Nikki, you and I talked about being jaded, and expecting bad things to happen as a Bucks fan because we've been through so much and so forth. You've seen some of the reactions, or you had your own opinions. What have you taken away? What have you taken away from the recent struggles from this Bucks team and specifically the offense?
Specifically the offense. I mean, I just feel like the whole chemistry is off. Like, I don't see any one section of the offense clicking on all cylinders. I think, it starts with the O-line, and losing Allie and Jensen right off the bat was a big, blow to us. Brady just looks at us, think, I don't even give a shit about it. Sorry, can I say that?
You say whatever the hell. Hey, this is outside leverage, goddamn it. You say whatever the hell you want to.
No, I don't even give a shit about the off-field stuff. Like, sorry, I just don't care. You have a job to do it, and I don't think Brady seems in it. Evans, I don't know what his deal is with these dropped balls, and just being a little bit off. I don't know. I feel like compared to the Super Bowl season, he just doesn't like get after it as much as I feel like it's like waiting for it to fall in his lap a little bit is kind of how it seems. And then
With
it's
Evans.
yeah, with Evans specifically, it's like he's just like I'm so good and Brady's so good, it's just gonna happen. And I just don't think that we're in a position right now where it's just gonna happen without. We're like, where's the dog in him? Like it used to be,
Yeah.
This is kind of how I feel.
Right. Slam, you're like again, you said you've been getting after it all day with cats talking crazy and having these wild opinions and just kind of reaching for kind of reaching for anything to place blame on. But before we get to just that, the reaction and all that stuff, man, you remember you and I had these conversations, man, when we went back talking about how the offense struggled to play any team that was like literally from 2019 through just last year. If a team had an average defense, our offense struggled. It struggled so much to the point where literally the few games, actually the one game that stood out where the offense actually stood toe to toe with a good offense that had a good defense was the game against Buffalo last year. The game where we won in OT.
Yeah.
That is literally the only game that stands out where a team showed, and that was the number one defense in the NFL when we played them. And the offense actually kept pace. The defense was doing their thing, and we pulled the game out in overtime. That is literally one of the only few times that comes to mind where the offense actually played well against a good defense. And again, Slam, you're talking about some of the tactics and all the stuff that was going on, or some of the reasons Byron left, which is struggle. What has been going back to his hiring? What did you see this coming, or did you have issues with the way things were going, even while the BUCS were at their top Super Bowl run in last year?
I think when Byron Leftwich kind of took over the offensive duties, I didn't see this happening because of the same thing. It's kind of the continuity of the offense, kind of having the same players in there as far as the quarterback, some of the wide receiver weapons. I think the offensive line losing Jensen, Marpet really hurt, as far as execution behind the line of scrimmage. But for the most part, on a macro scale, I definitely didn't see or predict the offense to be as stagnant as it is right now. Like when you talk about the same guys, and when they first came in, they preached about continuity. Like we won a Super Bowl. The whole idea of continuity was to bring all 22 players back so they can have another year in the same system to keep operating, keep getting better, learning the nuances of the system, offensively and defensively. And last year we came up short, but even this year, I think for me, I thought the offense was going to be one of the side of the team that was going to really pick up where they left off from the playoffs and just kind of keep on pushing because of the fact they're in the same system. You lose Bruce Arians, but you still got Byron Leftwich in the mix that's calling the play. They still run the same playbook, same scheme, so to speak. I mean, yeah, the offensive line is definitely something not to be happy about. I think it do affects a lot of the things that's going on, like at the point where you can blame play calling in some situations, but we really don't know what the real issue is, because let's say if you do call the right play in the right situation, if the O-line isn't blocking good, it won't work anyway. So it's kind of hard to tell. Like it got to the point where, like, okay, you can say, oh, that's play calling. But when you really peel the layers back and you really look at the play over and over again, it's like, well, damn, Luke getting pushed back. It's nothing Lenny can do to run the ball. It's nothing Rashad White can do when he's running the ball. So it's just weird, man. It's weird. It's
that's why I say it's like a lack of chemistry on all facets, and I don't really know that you can pinpoint it. My thing is like a mentality issue, like that's what I'm saying. Like with the Evans thing that I mentioned, it's like you're kind of we're that Super Bowl team, and we're the team that stayed together, and are, even though we had a coaching change, it's still supposed to be the same. Like I feel like almost a sense of entitlement, and. But there's, I don't want to say they're not putting work in, but are you? Like, I don't want to poke that bear, because that's not really what I mean. But
yeah, I understand. Like, I feel like I understand what you mean, and I don't think it'd be wrong for anybody even to have that. And it's something that got to be put on the table. I mean, for me personally, Mike Evans, in my mind, Mike Evans don't have that kind of deal, but I can honestly see, because the results on the field just kind of see it. I mean, it kind of shows it. Not only that, I mean, from a Mike Evans standpoint, Mike Evans ain't being targeted as much as, he's not even put in a position in my mind to be making big plays to and it kind of lends to the thought of, hey, maybe it's a slacking off on his end because the production ain't there. I mean, we 7 weeks in, and I ain't heard anybody mention this, but damn, Mike Evans ain't looking like 1,000-yard receiver this year.
I actually said that during the game this weekend. I was like,
I don't
he
know.
didn't get yards like this.
I don't know if he gets it. And again, I don't think it's 100% on him because I've been to the games. I've seen the live all 22, and I've seen that man open, and I've seen Godwin get the target rather than Godwin or Fournette get the target rather than Mike Evans. So again, I mean, Nick, leaning to your point there, that does lend to the notion that, there's some slacking off or something going on because the production ain't there to lift these players up as high as we want to lift them on a personal level as players.
For sure.
As people
and I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that it's Mike Evans specifically or he's not putting in the work. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, as a general consensus or kind of like a general feeling that I'm getting when I'm watching the team, for sure.
Again, like, yeah, what Nikki said. I mean, she's not calling out Mike Evans. This is basically Mike Evans just been used as an example. She is not pointing out or claiming that Mike Evans is a slacker on any level. That's not the thing.
No, but there's some sort of chemistry issue off here, and I think I don't know if we can find the answer to that necessarily.
Yeah. I know this for me. It just hella ironic that all of this goes on when Bruce Arians get out of the picture. Like, all last season, the year before, he was claiming, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. It's all Byron Leftwich. I don't do crap. It's all the other coaches." He was trying to build all them up, making it seem like Byron Leftwich was the total mastermind behind it. But then reports come out of Bruce Arians coming in and red marking stuff that they want to do. He's saying it won't work. So it's bad timing that the offense looked the way it is once Bruce Arians leave, and it's like now Byron Leftwich just left to hold the bucket. Like, okay, what's going on? You can't. It's not a rift between you and Bruce Arians no more. He's completely out the picture. So all the shortcomings of the offense, whether it's play calling, whether it's scheme, whether it's not getting Mike Evans involved more, or if it's all the other variables, is falling back on Byron Leftwich. He's the only one that can be held accountable. I don't think Tom Brady is just purposely not giving the ball around to Mike Evans and stuff like that. I think Tom Brady is more of an inside-outside guy. Like, he looks at the inside, then checks the outside. That's why he's very good at checking the ball down. He likes those tight ends. He likes seeing where he can get the ball out in the middle. But it just it's super uncharacteristic that Mike Evans is not trending to get 1,000 yards this season. It's super uncharacteristic that this offense on paper with all these players we have, even though we lost Gronk and AB and even Marpet, I mean, we still can do better than 3 points against the Panthers. I don't care, man. Like, I went to the Packers game. I went to the first home game, went to the Packers game, and that was my first time going to a home game. So I was just like, it just didn't seem right. It didn't feel right. Like, the offense just seemed clunky. It seemed like the chemistry wasn't there. It just seemed like it was so hard to move the ball and actually execute. And I get it. That game, all the receivers out. All we had was Russell Gage. But in a nutshell, come on. We knew the Packers wasn't going to be the team they were from the past years. But it's really coming to head with each game we play. We're playing worse teams and worse teams. Like, it couldn't get no worse than the Steelers and the Panthers back to back.
And but isn't this the BUCS, like Tom Brady's getting the full Buccaneer experience? I read a tweet about that during the game, and I died because it's true. Like this is what and I hate to say historically, because every team is different, every situation is different, but historically we play like shit when we play shitty teams. We always lose to the backup quarterbacks. It's always been our kryptonite. And again, I hate to generalize as a fan base, but when we talk about how we've been so jaded, I'm sitting here like, I'm not surprised. Like,
right.
I don't see any game like this as a cupcake game. Now, if we were to come up on Buffalo next week for some reason, I wouldn't be surprised if we beat the shit out of them, just because that's what we do.
It's a piece of me that still feel like we just can maybe pull this off Thursday. Like, we'll shock the world if we beat the Ravens on a short week after losing two bad teams. But that's the Buccaneers type of voodoo, I guess. Like,
but Thursday night games are not typically kind to us.
Not kind of us. And really though, ain't that a damn shame that we talking about that, man? Because Nikki, Nikki, I mentioned this 2 days ago when I was first initialized on this conversation of having Nikki on. I was like, hey, you remember that whole culture change shit that everybody talked about happened in 2020? What the hell happened there? Like, why didn't that carry on for more than a year? That's why I always said, and I've always opposed the thought of culture change due to a winning season. That might be one of the lowest fucking indicators, or one of the most common indicators that you as a fan, not you as a fan, but whatever your fan base is pretty much trash. If you think a winning season changes your culture, it does not. That's like saying the fucking outfit changes your soul. That's a whole lot more that gotta go on the inside than just whatever it looked like on the outside. Because we go back and we talking about these teams that the Bucks like basically showed out on that kind of got those top 5 rankings over the last 2 years. A lot of cats don't want to hear, and they didn't want to pay attention to the fact that those teams that the Bucks whooped up on, terrible defenses. While the Bucks offenses were loaded. Like when the Bucks played anybody that had an average or above defense, the Bucks looked like shit. And I saw this in person. And that's when I was like wondering, like, am I the only person in the stand that's paying attention to this, that actually seeing this? And, I mean, and any time that the Bucks had like a high profile matchup against a good team, they faltered on the offensive side. It was literally the defense having to carry the torch for 90% of the game before the offense showed up and pulled it out. And then all of a sudden, it's Brady does it again. It's the offense does it again. It's Byron Leftwich should be head coach material. It's bullshit. It's crazy. It's always crazy to me.
Maybe that's why he doesn't get any good offers in the offseason, right?
That is exactly why, because people who, I think if you watch what the Bucks did again, most of the attention comes from other coaching staffs and other fan bases when we're the only team or one of the highlighted teams in primetime games. And the Bucks had a whole bunch of them in the past 2 seasons. And if you go back and you look at any of those games, damn near all of them, with the exception of the game against Buffalo, the Bucks offense looked like shit. Almost to the point, I kid you not, by the time we got to our 3rd primetime game in 2020, fans were really upset or really nervous about a primetime game because the Bucks didn't look great on offense.
We've been nervous about primetime games our entire fandom.
Right. And oh my God, it really shouldn't be that way with this offense. And again, obviously the offense aren't the only ones who have issues, but serious business, the Bucks offense is the only thing that's costing the Bucks games.
It's exactly like in week 2, because I was at the New Orleans game. And that first half was really hard to sit through. Granted, it was like 3-0, so it wasn't like a big deal. But like we couldn't do it. It was like 6-3. I don't remember what the first half score was, but we were still in the game. Obviously, it was like a 3-point differential, but it was just boring, man. Like we couldn't do anything, but the defense was keeping us in the game. And then like once the defense really started clicking and getting the turnovers and stuff. Speaking of, where are the turnovers? We'll get to that later. But. Right. But, you know, I was like, the defense was doing enough to keep us in the game, getting the ball back to ourselves. And at that point, I'm like, well, just let Jameis be Jameis. We'll be all right, right? Like, and eventually that worked out. But we're not playing Jameis Winston when we play the Steelers. Although with a rookie quarterback, you would think that we could.
Right.
But we don't, because, you know, so we do. But I feel like the defense is keeping us in games, and the offense just not there.
Quanta's opportunity. Slim, go ahead.
The defense doing their job. I mean, people can say, well, we need the turnovers, but you know, really, teams still averaging 17 points a game against us. That's more than enough for us to win those games.
For sure. I didn't want to make that sound like I was hating on the defense, but we were getting so many turnovers those first 3 or 4 weeks, and then it's just completely gone away.
Well,
and even to like 2002 era, it's like he said, if you want us to win a Super Bowl, you know, Gruden said you guys got to score 9 times a season at minimum.
Yeah,
and we were kind of on pace for that at the beginning of the season. It's just dropped off. So that was kind of my only point. I'm not like slighting the fact that the defense is the only thing really giving us any sort of juice right now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, turnovers do help. I mean, turnovers is one of those things that it's kind of, it's the defense job. You know, hey, take the ball away. Like in New Orleans, we had five takeaways in that game. I mean, Jameis was giving us the ball at that point. Toward the end, he just started turning to Jameis.
He finally is throwing it to us. You know.
Finally. Yeah. When I was watching that game,
trading him to get him to throw to us.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching that game, it was like you say, the game was boring. It was like a long chess match. Like no defense was giving up anything. And I said, well, whoever's going to win this game is basically whatever team make a mistake is going to lose the game. And then boom, Jameis started happening. It just started rolling downhill. But as far as the defense keeping us in these games. I feel like the only game that was definitely just an outlier was the Chiefs. Like,
Chiefs
all right,
game, right?
you can give that to them, but all the rest of these games, man, like the Steelers and like that's why I think, as far as the defense, it's not complimentary football. Like the
No,
defense, the offense doesn't have, it's not showing up for them. Like the defense basically has to play lights out for us to even have a chance to win. Like we basically got to hold the team to 3 points or less, so the offense can at least feel like they have a chance. Like the defense just doesn't think the offense can go out there and score points. When I went to the Packers game, to her point, it was boring. Like it's Brady and Rodgers. Like I paid a lot of money to come to this game. I want to see two legs and two Hall of Famers go at it and shoot it out. And I'm like, this ain't it. Like, is it me? Like, did I bring the bad aura here? Like, it's
Trust me, I've been the bad aura for a long time.
Yeah, it was just, it's weird, man. But the offense it's baffling. Like it's hard to explain. You don't know. You can say XYZ things and you're not wrong. We don't know what it is, man.
it's a culmination, man. It really is a culmination of, I think, other teams seeing this process with the BUCS for the past 2 seasons, or actually 3 seasons, with Arians and Leftwich in there, and seeing how that offense worked. Because again, so many times, man, I've been on social media, or I've been on a phone call with someone, or at the game, and I'm like, man, it really just feels like the BUCS offense just goes out there and line up and basically try to do whatever they do. Whatever the hell it is they think they do, they literally just go up and play, like with no regard to what the defense's weakness is and what their strengths are. They just go out there and try to play man to man, not man to man, but they go out there and literally just try to play talent against talent. And 9 times out of 10, the BUCS in the past 3 years have had the better talent, and that's it. There's no actual coaching that seemed like it was in play.
No ingenuity. It's not like when you watch it. It's weird because like these last couple games, you watch the game at 12, then you watch the afternoon games. You're like, why the fuck we can't do that? Why we can't move the ball like that? Like, how can they make easy completions? Like, you can see teams literally scheme their guys open. We just play mano and mano. Like, our man is just better than yours, so you can't stop them. That's how the offense works.
It's the same shit. That fourth and one play. I'm sitting there in the bar with my homies, and I'm like, they're gonna give it to Fournette right up the middle, right before it happens. I'm like, I'm in fucking Albuquerque. If I can call that damn play from Albuquerque, we have some fucking problems.
I'm in Memphis. It's sad because Jonathan Vilma was calling us out.
I know. I saw that. Oh my god.
So if the public can see and predict the play calling and kind of see, just imagine what the coaches are doing or the players are doing. Like it's what can you do? It's too predictable. It's sad when your fans, commentators, anybody else can basically predict. It's not even predict. Like we know, that's what they finna run the ball up the middle with Lenny. You think defenses don't know that? You think coaches not telling the linebackers, look out for this, look out for this. They're running the ball. Look at the formation. They're running the ball. Like it's.
I'm not even saying like pull some crazy trick plays, but like, could we throw one in every so often, like so that it's a little less predictable? I mean, run it 90%, but can we have 10% that's like some weird, I don't know, flea flicker or something random on a 4th and 1 just to like completely throw shit off?
Right.
But no, it's the same. It's so predictable in some ways. Super
Tecmo Bowl playbook, man. It's right. Nintendo Sega playbook, man. It's like probably 3 formations, and we're gonna do everything out of those, man. It's too easy to predict. Even if you're wrong, you're damn gonna get it right because I mean, hell, you probably, like I say, when you talk about Bruce Arians in this system, it's been in Tampa for 4 years now, just the 4th year.
Yeah.
I mean, have we seen any change to the system? You think coaches have enough film on this system by itself, regardless of who playing? Okay, when they line up in this, 9 times out of 10, this is what they're gonna do.
We're just relying on talent rather than any sort of
talent over tactic is what the BUCS have been leaning on. And again, fuck it. This is my podcast. Motherfuck it. I've been telling this motherfucking shit for a long goddamn time, man. I've been watching this shit and I've been saying it. And I catch so much flack for saying this shit, man. And I've shown it. I've told you. I'm like, listen, like watch what's happening here. Like this shit ain't sustainable. I'm glad a lot of cats and came on board. Actually, I'm not glad. Fuck them. There's cats who came on board, new fans, because Brady's there.
We're built for this kind of stuff.
We're like, ooh, Brady, you know. I'm like, listen, man, I like Tom Brady when he played for New England. I love watching good football. I love watching good quarterback, but I love watching good quarterback play like I love watching good right tackle play. Like I love watching good left guard play and good center play and good wide receiver play and good linebacker play. I don't give a goddamn about a quarterback's name. I don't care who it is. Like this is a collective team. This is a Buccaneers team that I love, spend money on, travel for all the damn time. So I don't give a damn about a name on the back of the jersey. Never have. Tom Brady and whoever else, I don't give a damn who they was on offense. Riding the wave right now, Todd Bowles and that defense. I know a lot of cats are now calling for Todd Bowles' head because he's now the face, and he's now responsible now apparently for the fucking offense and the defense, which he said already several times, especially when he got hired. I'm staying on the defensive side of the ball. I learned my lesson in New York. Now people want to use him and anybody else they can use to just deflect from what's going on the offensive side of the ball. Again, there's a lot of imperfections on the defense. When you see a team, several teams get long 3 and outs to close out a game, that's frustrating as hell. But I'm not foolish, and I know that cats are just projecting all that damn energy, all that fucking frustration from watching the offense not be able to do a goddamn thing, and they're projecting onto any imperfection that the defense has. And that shit is unfair. It's fucking foolish. Fuck Brian Baldinger and his cricket finger for fucking pointing out when the defense has a single play, when the goddamn defense and held other teams and the team that he was highlighting to so few points, enough for the BUCS defense to win the game, a top 5 defense. That shit's insanity. That shit is insanity. I somehow woke up yesterday and saw my whole damn feed full of just plays of people looking at the defense make imperfections. I'm like, hey, but tell me why my offense can't score more than 3 points and ain't got shit to do.
I've been saying up for MVP this year.
Yeah, that was my whole argument today on Twitter. Like everybody was blaming, picking out Devin White, and the defense gave up them third longs. I'm like, well, look, man, like at some point, like the defense shouldn't even been in those positions. Like we should have had way more points.
It wouldn't even have mattered.
It wouldn't even matter.
Time left on the clock, and we were so far down. It didn't matter anyway.
It didn't matter, man.
It's off the field. We would have had to score 3 more times. It didn't matter.
You know the saying? They say you congratulate the offense when you win, you blame the defense when you lose, no matter what. So even if the defense is holding the team like the Steelers, what we lose? 20-18, 18-20? We hold the team to the Steelers like what? 20-18? Was it 20-18? Because we didn't get
what was that? Oh yeah, because we didn't get 2 point conversion. Yeah, correct. So, it was 20-18.
20 points. We should win. If somebody came and said, all right, the Steelers gonna score 20 points with the Buccaneers offense, who wins? The Buccaneers. Like, who cares if they score 20 points? We should be good for 30 every game. Like, we should walk in with 30 on the scoreboard.
There's no reason we shouldn't be scoring on our first possession and in the first quarter for that matter.
We haven't scored in the first quarter all season. That's a shame.
That's a goddamn shame. That's a damn shame. Now, again, going back to how this has been happening. And again, if you're just joining or you're just now listening to my voice or just checking me out, again, been saying this for a long damn time. But the BUCS had not always, but since Bruce Arians has been around, the BUCS have struggled on the first 2-3 possessions of every damn game that they've played. Like they come out and look like they don't know what's happening. They come out and look like, again, they just try and experiment shit and see what happens. And then they get to adjust once the defense.
The scripted plays.
The scripted play.
Man, the scripted plays would work the best. And like, especially if you just have like a sequence that you're running and it's.
Yeah.
You would think. But you know what I'll tell you what, when I started catching on to like the real bullshit of it all, when the BUCS offense with Tom Brady, with Gronkowski, with Mike Evans, who, by the way, is the biggest X factor on the BUCS offense. I don't give a damn what anybody else tell you. When I saw that the BUCS offense didn't look like it was moving well, or it had a tendency to run hurry up offense to actually get into a rhythm, I said, well, goddamn, you know who this looked like? This is like motherfucking Jameis Winston. Yeah. This look like bad first, second year quarterbacks whose best work come in the 2-minute drill where they just kind of like freestyle to a degree, where they just hurry up offense and hope that the defense, get caught slipping. When we're looking at hope to win games with all this talent that is on this team, offensively and defensively, it literally makes you take a step back. Like it really makes you take a step back. I had a friend who went to the Falcons game with me a couple of weeks ago. He's
I was there. I'm sad I didn't see you.
I was looking for you. I was at the tailgate, just lurking, trying to find you.
Tailgate?
I was right outside the tailgate drinking.
Oh,
Hold on, story.
okay.
So he's like, he was like, the Bucks are just hoping. It's like a 40-year-old man going on a speed date. This is just hoping. It's like that's all it felt like, man, and it sucks. Actually, I'm just going to say it hurts. It fucking hurts as a fan to see this team with this much talent be as terrible as it is. What hurts more than that though is watching the reactions, and again, all the blaming, the finger pointing, going to stuff that don't matter, like those random defensive breakdowns, like Devin White's imperfections. Devin White's been imperfect since the day he stepped into Tampa Bay, since before. All the same flaws, a lot of the same flaws that he had when he got drafted, the missing tackles, the going high for tackles, all that stuff. That ain't got a damn thing to do with what the Bucks are doing losing, because that defense is still a top 5 defense. Still top 7 in yards against.
So Devin White can be 4th in the league in missed tackles. We still holding teams to 17 points per game. That has nothing to do with the offense scoring 3 points against the Panthers. Nothing to do with the offense scoring 18 points against the Steelers that had nobody on defense but Cam Hayward. Nobody. Minka fit all them guys out. Like we
just freaking lost to a Carolina team that is in straight rebuild mode. They fired
sale mode.
They sent away their 2 best players. Like they don't give a fuck.
They literally traded.
They came in here and whooped us like we were freaking salami on a Sunday.
Yeah, the PJ Walker
on a Sunday. Shit.
They can't dive quite a bit. And like I say, it's the NFL, so they are professionals. I mean, everyone is good to some degree, but again, the Buccaneers on paper is more talented than 80 to 90% of the teams in the league. Looking at our schedule, yeah, it might be the most hardest schedule we had because we won a division, so that's how it works. But we still should be the only team we should have literally lost to this season was the
Kansas
Chiefs.
City. Right, we held freaking Green Bay to 14 points, and that's when they thought they were really rolling. They thought they were really rolling, about to get on a hot streak, and the defense came in and just shut that shit down for the rest of the game.
I mean, but like I talked to the guy earlier, I said if it wasn't for that bogus call against Grady Jarrett, who knows if we lose that game, because the Falcons was rolling. We couldn't do nothing. Like they were scoring, they were stopping everything we were doing. We got the lucky little roughing the passer call and kind of killed their momentum, but let's say if that call doesn't get called, like that roughing the passer call doesn't happen, who knows if the Falcons get the ball back and run and take it back down the field, because we couldn't stop them. But again, it's the ineptitude of the offense. Can't figure out how to move the ball, can't sustain drives. Like we'll get to the red zone and then forget what the fuck we doing. Like we get on the 1 and overcomplicate it. Like or we'll get on the 2 and like what are we doing? Like we right here, like the last game, like I clearly believe, like I say, fuck the 3 points. We really got blew out. They kicked the field goal, so we just don't go home with the goose head. And I think if you really watching the game, like they really start conceding when they kick the field goal, because they realize like we can't get the touchdown. We got to get something out of this drive. They come back down the next time, still didn't get anything. So red zone offense is piss poor. Like it's a bad offense. I won't say it's a bad team. It's a bad offense. Whether it's Byron Leftwich play calling, scheming, the offensive line on Brady's blind side not holding up, yeah. But all together in all one pot, it's a bad offense, and they have to get it figured out, because now teams ain't scared of the offense no more. They ain't, and it put the defense in a bad spot, because now they're feeling like they have to stop the team and score. Like they feel like they got to do everything just to get the offense in a better position to win. Like, okay, well, we need turnovers to get an offensive short field. What the fuck they doing with the ball when they get it anyway? So do it matter? Do it really matter if we give takeaways?
My only thing is that I feel like there's some sort of, like I say, it's chemistry, it's mental, it's kind of all that. But I really wonder what would have happened if Evans had got that touchdown on that first drive was in his tips of his fingers. And I just feel like it set the entire game off on the wrong foot.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
it's so
think that, like, I don't want to say they're not mentally tough, but I feel like they got beat right
after that.
out the gate on that play, and they just like kind of rolled over and didn't try it again, or like
Yeah,
didn't
Right.
really
You did.
you
it,
felt the
you know?
whole energy leave out of the team when that happened. Even when I was
Fingertip close.
when I
Fingertip.
watched when I watched it when it happened, I just fell out on the floor and just like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. Like again, like this is gonna happen. This is about to happen. Like we're really gonna do this. We're really gonna just basically piss away this game. When that happened, to her point, like they couldn't get back in. They couldn't get back into it. The
But what
team just
happens? But
looked
what
slow.
happens mentally if he makes that play? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's a
like
boost.
the hype and the momentum and everything else changes if it was literally like half a fingertip down. Like he
Yeah.
had it.
He
And
was.
I'm not gonna like hate him, like fault him for missing it. Like shit happens.
Yeah.
But like you never saw that kind of gusto after that.
Right. So let me ask you something, Nikki, too. And I mean, Slim, I want to hear about your get your take on this too. Do y'all? I mean, you guys Bucks fans, been long time Bucks fans. You remember when that shit used to happen with the defense? When the defense would like get one bad play, one big play, it was given up, and then it was a collapse. Now we got a play on our team who got 20 some damn years of experience, who's supposed to be the leader of the offense, so he's at least the face of the offense. Where do you put, not blame, but what is the expectancy of a player who is at your quarterback position with that much experience, with that much pull? At what point do you look and say, hey, where is his presence? Nick, I want to hear from you first on this, because this is a tough question. A lot of cats do not want to hear, because anytime you speak, if you don't give Brady a verbal reach around, you must fucking hate him, basically. If you question his motives, if you question his play, you must hate him. But I mean, that's a serious question that needs to be asked, because it's not being asked by reporters. It's not being asked in the media. Where do you, like at what point do you say, hey, where is the leadership from the head player position, or at least the face of the offense?
Well, I mean, and I really hate to go with the excuses of the off-field stuff, because I just don't give a shit what's going on in your personal life. I just don't. It's not my fucking problem. But when you're taking days off from training camp, or taking a Saturday off before your Sunday game and not doing those things, and this is the guy who says he works hard all the time. I know people that have seen him like running sprints in parking lots just to like continue to always be working and always be doing that stuff. And I think initially, and I think Robert, we talked about this a little bit when you were saying like, where'd that culture change go? And I said, no, it kind of did. It was like the instructions were do as Brady does, right? And back then, when he first came here, he was proving to the world that he was as good as advertised, right? He elevated everybody around him. Everybody played to his level, and it worked, right? Like, yeah, well, there's some vanilla things there, but it worked. Now you have Brady, who's kind of, I don't even know what the right word is, just not on point, I guess is what I would say, because I don't want to say distracted, but not on point, not really clicking on all cylinders. The entire team all of a sudden can't click on all cylinders. Like they're almost doing exactly what they were told, and the culture change and following his lead. When he's crumbling, the team is crumbling. And I'm with you. You are the GOAT. You have 20 years of experience behind you. At what point do you say, look, we got to work harder, or we're not going to go with this bullshit ass predictable scheme? Like, I don't know, like you would think he would have that kind of pull. And you would think, as somebody who always is trying to be better and always wants that next ring, that he would be pushing harder for this. Yeah, I didn't hear him say nothing. And again, I don't really follow all the press conferences like I used to anymore, but I didn't hear nothing from him.
No, there's honestly goodness, there's nothing coming out of the camp or any of the media, local or otherwise, about Tom Brady, like not talking directly and asking him where, these pointed questions. Like none of that shit's happening. That's like it's all, hey, what do you guys have to do? It's not about, hey, Tom, what do you feel like you have to do? And go, I mean, real quick, Slim, I want to get your take on this too. But again, going back to this whole culture change and then this old 2020 season when the Bucks won the Super Bowl, when everybody was like, well, Tom Brady finally got comfortable, and then he started, the last after the bye week, he kind of implemented what the Patriots did, and he was like calling the plays. Let me go ahead and just tell y'all something. I wrote about it then, and I say it for the 15th time. That was one of the most bullshit things ever. When people say, "Hey, the Bucks are after the bye week," guess what? The fucking bye week was week fucking 12, and guess what else? The Bucks played three of the worst fucking defenses in the NFL and played one of them twice.
Mm-hmm.
So that was no change in culture. That was no change in fucking philosophy. That was no nothing. It was literally the Bucks had way better talent on the fucking offensive side of the ball playing terrible fucking defense. The Atlanta Falcons twice, fucking
Detroit.
Minnesota Vikings, and Detroit. Terrible fucking defenses. Terrible pass defense specifically.
I don't even know what our team this year would do against those defenses.
Fucking give up 3 interceptions and probably score negative fucking 5 points some way, somehow. But no, sorry, Slim, going back to that same question, man. Like, again, I don't want to point fingers. I'm not trying to say, hey, what about Brady? But again, this is supposed to be the face of your offense. Literally, people making him the face of the franchise, even though he's a rental. Where do you look to him, and what do you think the limit is to looking for a player like that? You're not supposed to be looking at one player to get all of your bravado and all the energy, but he is that guy that gets all the credits for the win and gets all the credit for all these other things. Where does his responsibilities lay in this situation?
I mean, he's top of the list. I mean, it starts with him and ends with him. I've always been one of the people that say, hey, it starts with the quarterback, ends with the quarterback. If the quarterback is not doing good, the team won't do good. If the quarterback is not checked in, the team is not checked in. And this year is odd. He is like I say, I can't comment on his personal life. I really don't give a shit. You got to play on Sunday for 3 hours, and then you're gonna handle your personal business then. But you have to show up for work. Our jobs don't give a damn what's going on in our household and our personal life. We're there to do a job. We worry about that on our own time. Like I say, with him missing camp and all that, I don't really think it was detrimental to the chemistry, because like I said, he's still throwing to the same receivers and stuff like that. But you can't tell me that players are not affected by what's going on with him that's hitting the headlines and stuff like that. You can't tell me those little sidebar conversations isn't going on. But for Brady to be known as this psycho Tom, and he's yelling at offensive linemen and stuff like that because he wants them to do better. I think this last game or two, it just looked like he's dejected. It looked like he's checked out. I mean, unless he's very good at playing poker and he has a poker face and he's going over these scripted responses in the media, he doesn't look like a person it's looked like he's already planning his exit. Like he has his exit strategy already formulating in his head, because when you losing to teams like this, that's a real example of just the attitude of your offense. When your offense can only muscle up 3 points, basically 21 points in 8 quarters, that falls on the quarterback as far as getting his guys fired up to play. I mean, you can say the head coach and Todd Bowles don't have anything to do with the offense. I know that Brady and Leftwich kind of work together on the scheme, but when you're talking about the GOAT, you're talking about this figurehead of the offense, this guy that just had this long record of success. He does have some type of skin in the game when it comes down to why the offense isn't working the way it's working. It's just it's hard to put my finger on it, man. I mean, you can yell at these offensive linemen and tell them that, hey, you're better than what you're playing and all this stuff, but are they really responding to that? Are they looking at him like, this guy, like, how are you gonna yell at me and you're missing practices and stuff like this? And you have all this crap going on. Like, we don't get the same privileges as you. Robert Haynes and Lou Gedeke isn't gonna be allowed to miss training camp for 11 days. They're not gonna be able to go to a wedding a day before the game. So I don't know, man. Like I say, I don't. It's hard to tell, because once again, it's baffling that 7 weeks in and we're not even the offense we was looking like the last 2 years. Like, at least we was able to score points. We was good for 30 a game. We just really was dysfunctional. It was hard to get to 30 sometimes. And we'll play teams like the Redskins and just scratch our head on, like, why the hell is Tyler Heineken giving us pure hell? But this season is the worst Tom's been in it, and it's hands down. So, like I say, a lot of things are ironically happening all this year with Tom going through his personal life and Byron Leftwich taking over. And was Tom responsible for Bruce Aaron getting kicked upstairs? Like, it's just karma. Like, what's really going on? Like, it's a lot. So for Tom, I mean, he got his. I mean, he gets his share to blame, but you have to keep in mind that at the end of the day, like, is the scheme, is the play kind of like, do the defense, do the NFL basically have our number on our offense? Do they just already know what we're gonna do before we line up? Is it really, is it too hard for Brady to really, do Brady understand? Maybe Brady in the back of his hand knowing like it's not gonna work. What we're doing is not gonna work. Like, maybe he has that. We don't know what's going on in Brady's head, but I know these last 2 weeks he's giving these kind of, what can I say? How can I say it? He giving these type of responses, like, like, hey, we're just gonna keep working. We're gonna figure this out and all these things. But you've been saying that, and you've been saying, and it's, you not only are you doing the same thing, you're getting worse. So
Jameis Winston said the same thing.
Hey, I
did.
swear to Moses, I was just about to say the same damn thing. Like, we've heard this shit before. Several
Brady,
times.
like I say, I don't know. I say, damn, it's I don't know, Robert. It's hard.
Interesting what you said, that he may have his exit already scripted. Then stay home then. Like we could have moved forward from this, and he wouldn't be such a discussion anymore. We could just say, like, okay, next in line, who's the next guy that's going to lead us to these, horrible losses that we've always experienced. But like,
it's
if
weird, man.
you're your exit, then go.
Like,
you
you
know
retired. You had one foot in, one foot out. You retired and came back. If you retired and came back, like, you had unfinished business and shit. I don't know. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's honestly, bro, I can't really answer that question. Like, of course we can look at Tom Brady and say, okay, he's the figurehead of this team. He's the GOAT. Like, he's the catalyst, the main cog of this offense. And he probably has some comfortability on why it's not working. But shit, like, I don't know. Because when I'm watching him play, he's doing what he's doing. He's doing what the best he can do with what he has and what's going on. Like, it's not like he's just out there just throwing the ball away, just giving the games away. He's literally trying to push the ball up the field. He's trying to play. He's trying to score. It's just, I think it's starting to, defeat is starting to creep in his head. Like, the last year in the Patriots, when he was on the Patriots, you could tell Brady wasn't coming back. Like, he was just like, fuck it, I'm out. Like, he threw a pick six the last pass of the Patriots and didn't look back. So I hope that's not what's going on, man. It just, Brady is 45 years old. He don't have a lot of patience for what's going on right now. Like, if he's gonna play, he needs to play to win. He's not playing to figure things out, and he's. So I think his patience is very thin. Like anybody else is older. Like, he don't have the patience for stuff like this. Like, look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers basically calling out his own teammates. Like, hey,
threw him right under the damn bus.
He's like, hey, some of these players need to get reps. Don't need as many reps. So it's hard to call them, Robert, man. It's hard to call, because I think it's enough blame to go around when you talk about the offensive struggles, and it just doesn't stop with Brady. It's a lot that's going on.
Right. Again, I'm not looking to point the finger at Brady. Like, hey, well, this is your guy. This is the dude. He should take on all the blame, because that's not the case. I mean, offense, not even offense. Football is the greatest damn sport in American fucking history to me. Greatest team sport. Like, full clip. I mean, I literally loathe the fact that it's so much about one player, win or lose. Like, no matter what, you hear the quarterback position. Like, and there's no other sport that you can think of where one position, no matter what, is, whoever takes that position is initially or immediately the face of the franchise and all this other stuff. I hate that. But again, I love every good position. I love good play at every good position. Yeah. It's just that, again, when we look at our team, everything that you look at, whether it's marketing, whether every billboard that you see, every promo for every game, it is featuring our quarterback, and our quarterback is the quietest of when in all of this.
I get it though. Like, from a marketing perspective, I mean, that's what we're supposed to do when you have him. So I'm not even like pissy about that. I'm with you. Like, it is frustrating because I've been a BUCS fan for so long. I'm not a Brady fan. I'm grateful he's on my team, but I'm not.
Same.
I'm
The
not.
same.
I'm a Bucks fan,
Yeah.
and I'll be a Bucks fan after he's gone. It doesn't change anything. And again, to Slim, to your point, you know, he's pushing the ball, he's throwing it upfield, he's trying to. When he's on the field, he's trying. I don't want to say he's not.
Yeah.
Seems a little off, a little checked out, just a little bit. Something is not right.
Yeah.
But he is trying. He also can't be he can't throw the ball and catch it when all these guys are dropping balls. Like, that's not on him. But again, like, that's where I go back to my opening statement. It's like, it's all the chemistry is just jacked. All of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's an ugly world. I know we spent a lot of time here talking about, you know, the offense and kind of getting the grievances and all of that out. But on the defensive side of the ball here, you know, we got guys who doing them who are imperfect. We got guys who aren't making as many plays. We got injuries similar to what we had last season, cornerback and defensive line, specifically Akeem Hicks, who's should have been a really big part of the defensive line in the first 7 games. He went out with a foot injury. You got the cornerbacks and another basically rotating door this season right now. Carlton Davis has been playing with an injured hip pretty much most of the season, and it cost him. And he's been giving it. This was supposed to be a big season for him coming into the season, which it still could turn out to be. Yeah, but the defense is, again, catching a whole lot of hell because of their imperfections due to the fact that all the projecting of the frustration from the offense not scoring going to them. We've already started seeing the fire such and so, fire Coach Bowles, fire Leftwich, which I wouldn't actually be opposed of. I'm fine with Leftwich. I'm fine with Leftwich, you know, stepping away or whatever you got to do. But you got all these finger pointing and all this blaming and so forth. Hey, Nick, again, you've done well by staying away from social media and staying away from listening to some of this negativity. Slim, you and I, we go back and forth on a lot of casts all the time. But again, Nick, it just drawing back on your past history with the way the Bucks and our fans and our fan base and this whole deal goes. How did you generally look past the bullshit and look forward to another game?
Because for me, football season is what I live for. A Bucks game is what I live for. Like, I can get emotional about it. Like, I live for these games, and I'm in no way, shape, or form, as bad as the last couple games have been, do I think that, you know, stick a fork in our season, we're done. I actually think that we, again, because of the talent we have, I think, and if Brady, like, flips it a little bit, like, in his head and kind of can get everybody else to elevate, I actually think we can pull this through. Let's just stay at the top of our division, and you never know, right? Like, maybe it can all come together somehow. I'm not willing to give up, but how do I continue? It's just because this is what gives me life. And is it embarrassing as hell to sit there and watch us score 3 points against a 1-5 team? Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, I love being a Bucks fan more than anything else in this world. It is so much in who I am, and just the relationships I've built. Robert, you specifically, I adore you. You know this. We've been friends for a really long time. It's the reason I travel. It's the things I spend money on. It's so much more to me than the win and loss column. I mean, obviously winning is so much more fun, but I'm still getting used to that because I've been jaded for so long. But it's, for me, football is more than the score. Football is things like this, getting excited and getting to talk with you guys and really flesh some stuff out and just hear some really interesting points. And I just don't deal with, like, some of the bullshit you guys are probably engaging with on Twitter. I just don't deal with it anymore. I used to. And I just realized that you just can't convince people that some things are not a problem. Like, I mean, I go back to, like, let's not even bring up the name of the person who really pushed it, but the narrative, like Gerald McCoy smiling on the sideline. Like, I don't give a fuck that he's smiling or that he pancaked a bitch and then helped him up. I don't care. Right. I don't care. Yeah. I'm a Bucks fan. I'm here for the game. I'm here for the camaraderie. I'm here for that community. And you know what? When we win, it's just even more better, right? Like, I just had to get away from that negativity because, you know, it's exhausting. And like you said, Slim, like, I don't know what the issues are. I can't pinpoint what it is. I think it's a culmination of a lot of things. I'm not going to say that the divorce, like, I just don't care. just don't care. What I care about is what you do on Sunday on the field.
Yeah.
Period.
Slam. Great. And I so love that answer. I so fucking love you as a fan. It's not even fucking funny. Fucking love you as a fan. I know there's a lot of the fans that are like you. I'm sorry, who feel similar to you, but ain't none of them like you. Fucking love you. Slam again.
Love you.
You and I go again. We go back and forth a lot, and again, we and I don't always fucking agree initially. We always have to have a back and forth to get things going. Again, you've seen a lot of the negativity, you've seen a lot of the finger pointing, you've seen a lot of the foolishness. Your way of dealing with it, and then looking forward to the next game.
Well, as far as the bullshit, man, like sometimes I have time. And like today I had time. Like it was a light day at work. I'm like, all right, let me just see what everyone's talking about because when we lose, everyone's frustrated, and I get it. You're frustrated when we lose. You're even more frustrated when we lose games we shouldn't lose, especially versus the Steelers and the Panthers. So when I'm part of all these groups on Facebook and Twitter, I follow a lot of Buccaneer media on Twitter and stuff like that. So you kind of just get an idea of what is the kind of the macro narrative of what's the problems is, and you kind of get everybody else anecdotes about what's the problem, how can this get fixed, and sometimes I'll be inclined to just kind of inquire like, okay, why is this going on, how is this going on, like, okay, just kind of sometimes it'd be a opportunity to debate, educate, or probably gain a perspective that I wasn't thinking about. But generally it's just a lot of people in their emotions. People just want to have a way to point the finger at something. They need an outlet for their frustration, so they blame people that may or may not be the reason why, or a situation that may or may not be the reason why. And sometimes like today I was just asking people questions. Like, people say this is the problem, I'm like, well, why do you think that is? Explain to me why. And some people just couldn't. They would just like
because
they
my
mad.
feelings.
They don't know why they mad. Like, this inner feelings. And I'm like, well, it's okay to be emotional, man, but like, you got to understand, it's a lot of more variables than what you say is going on. Like, sometimes I like to just sit down and just talk football, talk X's and O's. Like, I like to talk football from a cerebral standpoint. That's how I look at the game each Sunday. Like, I can look at the game, and me and my girl be watching the game, and I can be breaking down the game and saying things before the commentator saying it. Like, they'll do a replay and do a review. I'm like, baby, this is what they're doing. Or I can tell you what the ball going on. Like, all right, baby, look at him. This is what's going to happen. Like, why you playing off? Are you playing? I can look at defenses and tell what they're running. I can look at offenses and kind of predict what they're going to do. So for me, I like to look at games from a cerebral standpoint. I love football too, Nikki. Like, this is I live.
I had time to do that like I used to. I used to watch every game 3 times, including the All-22, and like, my life is a little different. I don't have the time for that anymore. But I loved that. Like what you're saying, like the X's and O's and the matchups and being able to watch the All-22 and get the tendencies. I miss it, man. I do. I just don't have the time for it right now.
Yeah, I don't really do the All-22. I just really just watch the game. Like, I got the Sunday ticket. I don't stream it. I need.
It's hard for me on like those broadcasts because you can't always see. Like, it's always the camera's always on like the line and the quarterback, so you really can't see it develop. And that's the part that I don't like about just watching it. But I just don't have time to go back and do all that.
Man, like I said, I watch it, man, and like I said, I live for football Sundays. It's a whole thing Sunday. Like, I work my ass out 6 days a week just so I can have my Sunday to myself and watch football. Like, the TV doesn't get off of football all day. After our game is over, before we play, it's on some type of football game or some type of NFL network. My Sundays are for football, But as far as dealing with the BS, man, sometimes I just like to disengage in conversation with different fans and see what they're thinking, what are reasons thinking this way, and let's compare perspectives. I mean, that's how we met Rob on one day on Facebook, just going at it in different debates, and was like, okay, if this is the problem, tell me why, and I have my reason. So, but just as far as football and everything like that, I love it. Like I said, I'm still gonna be a BUCS fan long after everything blows up and we going back in rebuild stage and we go back to the secondary, whatever we want to be. I'm still gonna be a BUCS fan. It's sweeter when you're a BUCS fan, when we was going through those dark times and then we finally get the ring, and I'm like, yes, this is why you go through all those years of BS so you can be a champion one day. So for me, man, like, nah, it's just when you're dealing with certain.
This year specifically, because it's exactly kind of what you're saying, is like, it's one thing to be the BUCS fan that are 0-26 and you just know we're going to be 0-26. It's shitty to lose games like this when we shouldn't. Like not just on a day-to-day, we shouldn't, like, we really shouldn't be losing these games. We have Tom Brady. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We have Mike Evans. We have all these names. We had names on our teams the last 3 years that I never would have thought we would have on our teams, like wearing BUCS jerseys, which has been really cool. The Ndamukong Suh, you know, like these names that, like,
always been notable players in the league all in one place. It only happens on Madden. Trust me, when I play Madden, that's the only way I can get all these players on one team. So to see it happen in real life was definitely a treat.
Yeah.
Like I said, like even with guys like Julio Jones, like I was like, and I said back one day, and this when I was in Tampa, I was at the bookstore, and I was like, man, if I really had the money, I'd buy every jersey or every like notable, probably future Hall of Fame player that played. Like even Antonio Brown, I get him, get Julio, I get Gronk, I get all these guys that's been, you know, high, like basically top players in the league when there was a Buccaneers, just to say, hey, I remember when they was on our team. It's a good way to have the jersey. But nah, man, as far as the people, man, like you'll never win that battle. Well, the war, you'll never win that one because there's too many people. It's one against the world. But you know, I think just a lot of people, especially when you lose, people just got to have an outlet for their frustration. And I just be want to know, okay, if you say this is the reason, let's talk about it. Explain to me, educate me why, because I might have a different reason. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes I kind of make, you know, non-believers and believers and kind of break something down to them that people maybe weren't thinking about. Like, hey, well, the reason why this is going on because of this is going on. You know, oh, okay, I wasn't thinking about that. Or, you know, some people just say, hey, Devin White is a trash linebacker and he's a bust. And I'm just like, well, he was just literally defensive player of the month last month. So how does he go from that to a bust in literally less than 30 days? So like, well, he's fourth in the league in missed tackles. We still hold teams to 17 points per game. You know, like what are we talking about? The offense scored 3 points. It don't matter how many tackles he missed. The offense can't score. So nah, man. It's sometimes it just be just sometimes you like fucking with people, and sometimes you just really try to see what people head in and like how much football they really know, or is they bitching. So.
Right. Well, like you said, man, I think I saw you tweet earlier this week. There's a difference between knowing football and talking football. There's a lot of cats who like to talk football and don't be knowing a lot. I like to stay in my lane. There's a whole lot of stuff I'm like, you know what? I don't like talking. I love the X's and O's from those who like to teach it. I don't pretend like I know a whole lot when it comes to X's and O's because I understand how football actually worked. I understand how not hierarchy, but basically how all these plays and all these systems and all that stuff, they've been around for a long damn time. And a lot of those same coaches are still coaching the same shit. And a lot of the young cats who are now coaching are taken from all these other cats. So what somebody else knows or what somebody else think they know that they got from several generations ago, if they read it from a book, that's all they know. So they try to apply that. They'll try to find semblances of what they see. And like, hey, this is, ooh, I know what that is. I saw it from a coach or somebody from like who coached 60 years ago. I guess what?
I have more respect for that, honestly. And like, I have to practice that personally, just being a female. And I was probably a bigger football fan as a female before females really came into like being more mainstream in the football world. Like I've lived in the man's world for such a long time, being one of the only females that actually knows what she's talking about. But I stay in my lane, right? Like I'll never make a comment if I don't actually know it. You know what I mean? Like, and as a female, like that's just something you have to do because the second I slip up on something, forget it. She's a girl. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Right. I sat in my grad school classes with my, the football team for UNM that I was there, and like they would be like, "It's so cool that we could sit here and talk, and I can actually talk to you the way I would talk to my teammates about something, and you get it." And I'm like, because I like to learn this stuff.
Yeah, right.
But like you said, I have more respect for guys like you, Robert, that when you stay in your lane, and if you know it, you can back it up, you can say it, and that's great. But if you don't, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know. Or I need to look it up, or whatever that case may be. So I have tremendous respect for you. And again, that's something that I've always practiced. I do that just in life in general. Like if I don't know, like there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. Yeah. But people nowadays just have to have that word and they have to act. And then when it comes to light, you just look like an asshole. And I just don't like to like look like an asshole. So
Yeah, because it's not even a thing people have to reply. They literally have to rebuttal. They can't just
Yeah,
give you a response like, oh, I didn't know that, or hey, oh, that's not why I saw it. It's everything has to be a debate.
yeah,
Like literally, I don't know. These motherfuckers been watching goddamn ESPN or whatever the hell these Fox Sports shows too goddamn long, where every conversation has to be a debate, and that's not what I'm about. Like, but when I do get into a debate, somebody, I it's like a stalker mentality because I just kill them. I don't just goddamn kill them. I drag them, and I just keep showing them, and I would go back and find
kill 'em with information and stuff you can prove, man. A lot of people just
right.
talking, but they don't really know. They're not educated on certain things. Like,
It's
and
all
you're
these
right.
echo chambers that the internet has created. You know, people can just say shit and people just echo it out. And that's just what it is. Again, that I keep going back to that stupid Gerald McCoy smiling, and I'm like, I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
I
But
never
then
agree
you
with it.
see it on Twitter. You just see like he's too nice, and I'm like,
That was
it's.
bullshit.
I just keep using that example because it was that fucking asinine that we're talking about Gerald McCoy smiling. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
met
Yeah,
the guy. He's nice as shit. Like
yeah,
he's got a pretty smile. Like who gives a fuck?
yeah.
yeah.
That was a lame narrative to put out on a guy that did so much for this team and their community. To say, oh, he's just too nice and he didn't do anything. I'm like, what? Like,
If
how
you
long? Like, it
you know,
it was wild. I was like, for me, like if I was Jerry McCoy, what a huge slap in the face to hear fans that you literally gave your whole career to. Like, you've done so much for the community. You've been, one of the few bright spots through all the dark years of Shiano era and the Raheem Moore's era. You and Levante Davis been really the only cornerstone pieces that was even something to mention about the Buccaneers through all the times we weren't worth nothing. And to get to the point where, oh, he's too nice and he hipping Ben up and he said sorry to Big Ben, like that's just who he is. But that doesn't negate the fact that this guy's been one of the top defensive
Top
tackles in the league
5.
for a long time.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
a long time on a team when we wasn't good, but he was still able to hold his part down. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Nikki. Like it's a shame, man. But everyone has a microphone and a social media and a Twitter page and stuff like that. So it's so much bullshit that gets spewed out of there, man. That for me, sometimes I try to ignore, but like today, I was just like, all right, I got time, man. Let me just what's going on? Like, you guys are just saying all of these reasons, and then I'd be like, okay, where do you get that from, or how did you come up with that? And they get mad that they can't prove it.
They get mad
And I'm
because you
like,
ask them. How dare you? How dare you ask me about my stupid ass opinion?
I asked one guy literally, I like, well, how did you get to the conclusion? Bro, are you fucking stupid? I'm like, I just
Easy,
asked you
Tiger.
a question.
like, I'm
Easy.
just asking for you to educate me on your perspective. Like,
Yeah.
why is that?
Like you see the post I retweeted, he said, Devin White should even have a C on his chest. And I was just like,
Oh
what
God.
that has to do with anything, bro? Like, what, how did you come up with it? That Devin
Yeah,
White no longer needs to be a captain?
yeah, and
Because what?
I don't even want to catch y'all by premise. I was gonna end the conversation with what Nikki was saying, like this whole echo chamber and stuff. I I'm just gonna fucking do it. I need to call to task some of these cats who are Buccaneers insiders and reporters and all these cats who have now, especially in recent years, got a little bit too goddamn big for their britches because Tom Brady's come on board and now they've got bigger notoriety than they've ever had in their whole careers in Tampa. There's a whole lot of parroting and bullshit that's been going on in recent weeks. Slim, you've seen the one about Big Slim, but against Devin White and all these other cats. You got every other media member in Tampa pointing out or retweeting shit about Devin White that somebody else from a bigger media section has tweeted out, and they just putting it out there. You got cats who with podcasts who just want to get attention, who
Yeah,
just keep
that's what it
saying
is.
dumb shit to get
Yeah.
notoriety based off someone else tweet, looking for likes and all this other shit. Again, we're an hour and 17 minutes into this conversation with some passionate Bucks fans. If you're with me, great. But if you're one of these cats who want to be a part of the bullshit, who want to be a part of the inner circle, who want to be a part of a whole bunch of foolishness just to get seen or just to get heard, this won't ever be the podcast for you. You probably already tuned off and turned off and ain't coming back, which I'm good with. But that shit needs to fucking stop. Tampa Bay deserves a hell of a whole lot better coverage than what's been going on in recent years. Not even just recent years, but prior. There's a whole lot of bullshit credentialed reporters that out there spreading a whole bunch of bullshit just to get their names out.
Clickbait and all
Just
this.
get clickbait, a whole bunch of foolishness. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans deserve better. Because if they told you the truth fucking years ago, you wouldn't be surprised by some of the shit that you're seeing today. If they told you the truth about what was going on, you wouldn't be in shock. Not just this season, but in the previous season when the Bucs would lose games that they shouldn't have lost and when they would play on a terrible level. If you just had better information, if you were just more open-minded, if more Bucs fans and more fans in general, and I don't even know if it's just our fan base, because I don't pay attention to anyone else. I know a lot of people are passionate about their teams, but I don't pay attention to other people's fan bases like what we go through.
Oh no, Niners fans are hardcore, man. They are high and low like that. That is a bigger roller coaster than I think we're on.
Yeah, and they have a much more rich history.
Oh yeah,
than our team too.
But they are like blow it all up to the Super Bowl, like everyone.
Hey, I mean, you gotta love. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
You're good.
But you gotta love passion, man, and you gotta love like the sources that you can get, and you gotta love information. But there has to be some kind of regulation or better information for fellow Bucs fans, because these cats, man, there's so many people out there just spread a bunch of bullshit just for the hell of it, for content.
This isn't just Bucs fans in sports. This is the world that we live in.
This is the world that we live in.
That's what I was going with.
Has a megaphone, and the most outrageous ones are the loudest. So
that's what I was going with it. I think, when you speak about like a lot of these, probably reporters or guys or media personnel that's actually credentialed, I think they are not remembering the responsibility to put out good content, unbiased content. A lot of it is just their personal opinion, their own personal rants, and they form it up into this content that is really not actually true, or is not actually unbiased. Like it's really more personal opinion outlets, and it's really a lack of responsibility, especially for people like me that's out of market fans. Because at one point, that's all I had to rely on, to get kind of the insider information, like get different type of perspectives on what is going on, and stuff like that. That's all I had to rely on. If it's not coming up on ESPN for a long time, we wasn't story worthy on ESPN or anything like that. So we had to listen to a lot of local stuff, going on. But now, since Brady hit the town, you got Buccaneer podcasts and voices everywhere.
Dude, I walked in the mall in Albuquerque. In the mall, Hollister of all places had a Buccaneers outfit in the display window. Do you know, in my fucking brain, I was like, what the fuck? Am I living in the Twilight Zone? Like, never in my life. If they do have Bucs stuff, it's usually way the fuck in the back, and I can't find it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's I don't know, man. It is. I think, man, it's just a level of responsibility. Being in the media, just putting out content that's, one, not false, two, not misleading, and three, is unbiased. You can't have such a, like, to Nick's point, you can't have a microphone so big and spew bullshit, because a lot of people don't really understand or know. They just going off what you're saying. So if you're going out spreading the narrative that Devin White is a buzz, they're starting to believe like, oh, well, Devin White might not be as good as he is, but it's bullshit. It's their personal opinion. It's not true. It's not fact. Is and you got to think about it, man. These players listen to these podcasts too, man. Like, I have a young frat brother that he's on the practice squad for the Steelers, and he was like, they in the locker room, they talk like, hey man, did you listen to this on the way in? And so when you have that type of voice, I would say, be mindful of who's listening, man, and who can really see it on it. Because like I say, when you're spreading wrong things about it, man, then you wonder why these players are assholes to you when you try to get it locker room interview. Don't be surprised. I think if you're gonna be a reporter, man, and especially if you're credential or whatever the case is, it's okay to have your personal beliefs of what's really going on, but you have a responsibility to put out content that's unbiased and is not misleading. Like, do your own thing if you want to get your own personal crap out, but when you're using an actual channel where you have all these subscribers and viewers and stuff like that, and you're basically using it as a personal outlet of what's going on, it's really not true. And you're trying to steer certain narratives based off your belief and not actually what's really going on. That's when I think it's a lack of responsibility, man. So
And not only that, and then Nikki, you wanted to say something, but not only that, but monetizing this
yeah,
silliness. I mean, the only reason why most people know you is because you are whatever credential, and it don't take much as far as like it doesn't matter how good you are at your job to get credentialed. Trust me on this. But they're making money off of the names in Tampa. They're making money off these cast names and likenesses and so forth. So, you know, people think that they got access to them and they can, get real information, and they instead of getting real information and good content, they get silly bullshit.
yeah.
Might as well be a commenter in a fucking blog on a fan page somewhere. That's kind of it. Nikki, you about to say something?
I don't remember, so it's good.
On that note, I think I'm gonna let Nikki check out it. But I do before you get out of here, something before y'all get out of here again. We're going into a big Thursday night game. I'm actually making a drive from Atlanta, GA, 7.5 hours to Tampa to watch this game. What are your thoughts on the game? And if you had to, again, we know the offense is struggling. What from the Baltimore Ravens are you more worried about, their offense or their defense? Slim, I'll start with you, then Nick, I'll finish on you.
As far as the Baltimore Ravens, offense for sure. The
Shut up.
defense, the defense has been compromised a lot of times in the games. I think Lamar Jackson beat Lamar Jackson. They got some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I think the defense is trying to figure out what their identity is, how they can actually stop people. JPP is over there, so JPP, if depending on what's going on, he's going to give the blueprint on what's going on, what to look for, what the key on. If this player doing this, look out for this. Like JPP is coming to bring the house down, just like when he was with us and we used to play the Giants. He has a different fire in him. Like, hey, this team didn't want me back. So I got something to prove. I got a point to prove. So he's coming for Brady. He's going to try to do as much as he can on the defensive side to help them prepare and what to look out for and what we doing on the offense. And right now we ain't looking good. So that's even worse when you have somebody on the other team that kind of knows and kind of can key on certain things we're doing, even pre-snap. Like he's going to be out there letting people know what to look out for, who to block, who to worry about, who not to worry about, like who's good and who ain't, what's Donovan Smith weakness, and how do you get in, how you beat Tristan Wirfs and like all these other guys. He knows this team inside and out, especially from a defensive standpoint. He knows it. They practice together, so he knows who is what and how to get into certain situations with the defense. So it'll be interesting, man. I think Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson. I think we got our hands full with him. But if he's throwing the ball and running the ball, we have to key in and keep him contained. I think Devin White got a lot on his plate when dealing with Lamar Jackson. I think Levante David gonna have to have a big game. Keeping up with Mark Andrews, the tight end. That's his favorite target.
Yeah.
I think we have to play sound football. Gap assignments. We can't have no blown coverages. We have to play basically some of our best football we have played. We have to dig in and find it. Like, if not, it's going to be a Chiefs game all over again. It's going to be even worse. It's going to be like last year when we played the Chiefs and they just ran us out the building. I mean, it's
for the first half. I remind you.
For the first half, yeah, for the first half. But overall, man, overall, I just say the defense got his hand full. Lamar Jackson. I think the offense has a chance to redeem themselves and kind of rebound because the Ravens is not good in the secondary. They don't have their pass rush like they used to. It's not the Terrell Suggs days and stuff like that. It's a weird one, man. I just think whatever the BUCS got in their back pocket to pull out, they got to do it, or else it's going to be a bad Thursday night football. And Thursday night football don't really works out for us. So yeah, man, it's home game. So let's hope the crowd.
That doesn't help us either.
Yeah, I know, man. It's a lot going against us, Nicky, man. But I just think overall, like I say, I think Lamar Jackson's gonna be Lamar Jackson. I think defense has to play good football. They have to contain Lamar Jackson. Devin White gonna have to be a big piece and keeping an eye on Lamar Jackson's spine. I think Levante David gonna have to keep on Mark Andrews in the secondary, regardless of their hurt. Winfield's out their game. So
right.
And I don't know if Carlton Davis is going to play, so they leaves the rookie Zion McCullum out there again, and he didn't do well against the Bouncers. They picked on him all game. He didn't look good out there. So, man, it's a lot on the plate. But I think, again, if the offense can cash some of those drives in for touchdowns and not field goals and start moving the ball, that affects the flow of the game. That puts the Ravens offense in a situation where now they have to keep up with us. Every team this season didn't feel like they had to keep up with us, so they playing the offense different, and it makes the defense job even more harder. So I think if we playing complementary football, we have a shot. But damn, man, the offense, they got to show up. They got to show up. I mean,
Indeed,
defense
Nikki.
gonna do what they gonna do. Defense is gonna do what they got to do. I think the defense can do what they got to do as far as Lamar Jackson and just not letting him just bust the clock on us and run the scoreboard up. I think the defense do as much as they can do, but the offense got to help them. They got to show up, or else, man, it's gonna be an ugly game. You're gonna be mad as hell. You made that drive, Robert.
Hey, I've been mad as hell because I made a couple drives and fucking lost, man. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Nikki, what do you got? What are your thoughts on this one?
I think at this point, I'm going back to the old days of where like I watch games with the hope of I hope it's fun to watch and compete.
God damn.
Keep the expectations low. That way, the fall down to the floor ain't so hard. But I'll never root against us, obviously. But you have such excellent points here, and if the Ravens, and I haven't watched a lot of the Ravens games, maybe just caught some here and there, but I haven't watched it enough to know like in depth what we've got, like what we're facing. However, if you're saying that their defense is not quite to the level that it could be,
no, it's not.
Then we have a chance, like you said, for our offense. That would be the best possible position for our offense to like start carving up another defense. But the way we've been seeing it, I just don't know if I have the confidence in that. Although, as I go back to my point, I don't think our season is over. I do think we can pull it together. And if they can come out and be competitive and come out on top of this game, then then this discussion is a whole other thing next week. Yeah. So I hope that it's at least fun to watch and we're competitive.
Yeah, I mean, if we're competitive, that's a big step in the right direction. Like we haven't been competitive the last few games. Like we wasn't competitive at all. Like it was like we was looking like a charity case out there offensively.
So really, have we wowed even in the games that we've won? Have we wowed anybody? I don't think so.
I mean, I think the only game where we look like ourselves, in quotation, ourselves, was the Cowboys game. Yeah,
week one.
But that was it. And I was going back and forth with a guy on Twitter on what was that game and stuff like that. But that was the only game where well, we got something to work with. This thing's gonna snowball and keep rolling.
It can't score more than 3 points in the whole first half. And it's
Again, I mean, we started. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said, like, offensively, I think we've hit rock bottom, man. Like, so anything competitive, if we come out and show like we got some life, playing in the home stadium, all these things you could allude to, like Thursday night football, and that's not good for. If we can come out and show we still have life, I think that's a step in the right direction, man. We still have 9 more games left, but it got to start somewhere because I think against the Panthers, man, that was rock bottom. Like, that was sad. That was bad. That was frustrating. Like, games like that kill your rest of your day. Like, you be depressed. You don't even want to watch football no more. You just go drink. Like, just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I was literally I was 4 hours away from my place here in Atlanta. Yeah, I was in Mississippi. I watched the game. Took 45 minutes to look around and ask what the fuck happened, and then I got back on the road and drove my ass back to Atlanta. Just like, what the fuck? I really wish I was actually gonna make my way to the game. But yeah, going back to this, we'll close out here on the Ravens game here. It sucks, Nikki. One of the last times you and I talked prior to now, I think we had the conversation of the notion that we thought we were past the point where we hope a team is bad to make us feel good and get a win. That's what we got right now, all predicated on where we are with the offense.
But maybe the alternate is true, considering like we have historically play down to our competition, and then we win games that we shouldn't. You know what I mean? So maybe
I'm trying to think when the last time we won a game that we shouldn't have.
Not this season. I mean, the Cowboys. That was a game like we should beat them.
We should have won a game. That yeah, we had the Cowboys numbers
Yeah,
for the
we
last
should
2
have
seasons.
Cowboys, but all the rest of the games, I mean, even the games we won with Atlanta and who else we beat the Saints, those games, the Saints literally just came down to James just turning to
he
James.
just gave it back to us.
He just gave us that game, but we couldn't do anything. And the Falcons, they, like I say, man, if it wasn't for that call, who knows what would have happened. So I think the Cowboy game is really the only game where we came out and won that game convincingly. Like we didn't feel like we eked our way out of it. Like, oh, phew, we dodged one on that one. Like all the rest of the games has been like, just what the hell. So,
and by the way, even in that game, we did not score the league average of 21 points in that game. We won 19-3 on the strength again of the Todd Bowles led defense. Going back again to the Ravens, man, the Ravens have been losing games like last minute possessions, like last possession foolishness. Like they've been in games, and like they've had like their lows and ups and downs and so forth. Like they would come out and be playing offensively, come out and have like really good starts to games, and then they have lows. That kind of doesn't make me nervous. Because I believe, like Slim said, I believe our defense can hold up. I believe our defense can make things happen. I fully trust Todd Bowles and his ability to come up with a game plan to stop offenses. He's done it since he's been here for the vast majority, even if it's taken 2 quarters to make it happen. So, but the Ravens, again, they come out, they start out hot, then they cool off, and that's when other teams get back in the game, and it becomes a game in the fourth quarter. That's what's been happening with the Ravens all season long. They've lost 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, that they should not have. I can't say should not have lost, but they lost 3 games in which it would have been favored in the third quarter to pull it out and just kill.
Yeah.
So
I watched 2 of them that I was like, damn, like 2 of them, they just fell apart. One of them was maybe a coaching decision, the kicking instead of go forward and vice versa. But I think all the games that lost, they was right there. So
I think we need to start off on the right foot. I said, I think we need to start off on the right foot. Like, I think we need another explosive Mike Evans moment, just like we had, but we need to execute on it. And I think if it doesn't happen the first time, I think they need to try again for it. I think getting off on that right foot and starting the momentum will do so much for like the kind of the mentality and like we're here. Like actually saying, like, damn it, we're here with 7 on the board. Like we're not waiting.
We can do this.
We can do this. Score a touchdown if we score a touchdown. Like, you know what I mean? I think we need to start off on the right foot. And I think just for the chemistry and for kind of going back to where we started, I think that will help us if we can do that. Because if we crumble on that first drive and stuff, for something as exciting as that could have been, I think if we start that way with the Ravens, and we can really I think it makes a big difference.
So something that I almost forgot that JPP was on he was on the Ravens now. And Nikki, between the two, you guys' comments between JPP and Nikki, what you were saying about starting out hot early. A lot of cats probably don't remember this, but if you go back in the in the 2020 season when we won the Super Bowl, the BUCS defense know exactly what the fuck's going on. They know that they were carrying the offense. Like a lot of people knew, like a lot of people on the defensive side knew that our former starting quarterback was an absolute liability, but they couldn't speak on it because it make them bad teammates. You guys know that we do like, well, not we, but the BUCS do like the little documentary or whatever. The what is it? On YouTube they do like the documentary behind the scenes. Not the Hard Knocks deal, but the hell is wrong with me? I'm blanking out right now.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't watch it, so I don't remember.
What the hell? Anyway, behind the scenes, they were doing a whole bunch of highlights and shit, and then it was like the story of the Super Bowl championship and all that shit. And JPP, there was a segment where JPP was in the huddle with everybody, and he was doing like the rally speech and shit, and he he was like, guys, get it started from the get-go. Like, we got to get it started from the top. He literally looked at Mike Evans, who was to his right. He was the closest offensive player to him. Like, y'all, you like, don't wait to get started later in the game. Like, we got to get him started right off the bat. That shit was so subtle for a lot of folks. They never fucking paid attention. They like JPP knows that this offense starts slow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get the offense to start off on a bad foot, they're going to stay in that neutral fucking mode for a good majority of the game. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, Slam, JPP knows what's going on. He knows what's clicking on his offense and whatnot. He knows what works and what doesn't. So that is going to be an issue. I know there's a lot of times that's not an issue because people get, former players know all this and know that. That was the strongest part of this team for the past 3 years, and he was one of the leaders of it. He knows what's going on.
He knows it. I say the same thing about Jameis. Like, for me, this is my personal opinion, because it seemed like ever since Jameis went to the Saints, they have been a pain in the ass. Like, if for some reason this team, we could not do anything with this team. And I just said back when I'm like, that's because Jameis went over there and told him everything. And I know it's true. I know former players, when they go to a different team and they end up playing the old team, they literally get on the soapbox and say, okay, this is what this means. This is what this formation do. And this is how good this player is. This is this player weakness. And if you see this formation, do this. And, I think JPP has a chip on his shoulder, because you got to think about it. They got played hurt all last year.
Mm-hmm.
Even with him breaking his neck the year before and all this, he really was a warrior for this team, man. You can't tell me this guy. You can't tell me this guy is not licking his chops to play us Thursday. You can't tell me he isn't giving up all the secrets and goods and all the weaknesses and weak spots on this team. And it's really not that much different from when he was here last year. So, yeah, man, like.
It's cause for concern for sure, especially considering that we're not clicking. You know what I mean? It would be one thing if we were like firing on all cylinders and he was still giving it away. If we were executing,
it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
But yeah, like you say, licking your chops, because you know what's going to happen and you can see what we've been doing, and it ain't shit.
Yeah.
Again, on the Ravens, like they don't have a really strong defense right now. Obviously, a lot of it is injuries. A lot of it is, some other stuff. They're ranked 21st when it comes to points allowed. They're ranked 23rd when it comes to yards allowed. Now, here's where BUCS fans, we should get excited. This would be like the third time that we play like a bottom third, not even bottom third, like literally bottom 5 pass defense. These cats are giving up the 26th most yards in the pass, and giving up the 21st in touchdowns. So cats are going after them. Like, they are facing a whole lot of passes because of what's going on in their defense. I think the 28th ranked when it comes to like passes defended or pass attempts. So they are killing. So they're going to be they're in a spot where they should get hurt. The BUCS should be able to hurt them in the pass game. Rushing, not so much. Rushing, their top 10 defense when it comes to like yards given up, and we've been struggling with the run for various reasons. A lot of it, partially play call and play. A lot of it execution, and a lot of it just terrible vision from our running back. It almost feels like our biggest advantage is going to be in the pass game, which is also the biggest weakness of our team when it comes to offense, because we can't figure out how to game plan and scheme against a defense when they have a bad secondary, because we faced terrible secondaries for the past few weeks and basically refused to fucking punish them for being a bad secondary or being a bad pass defense. So in that world, we do have like what should be on paper again an advantage, but we've squandered advantages on paper all fucking season long. So am I concerned about the BUCS losing this game? No, not really. I feel like Slam, I feel like the defense can pull it off. However, there's still the lingering concern that our offense may give it away again. And just oppose you just a little bit, Slam. I don't think showing a little bit of fire it's going to be a step. And this is a must win. This is a must win when it comes to getting back on track. There won't be a loss, even a close loss. That's not going to be a close loss.
There are no moral victories at the end of the season.
No,
You know?
it won't be, especially because this Ravens defense is weak. If we can't take advantage of another weak team on our offensive side of the ball, ain't no more victory. It's literally just going to be another fucking few weeks, because we'll be 2 games on the fucking 500. It's going to be a few weeks before we get to taste that out of our mouth, and we won't see that until fucking Germany. And a
Like
fucking bye week after that.
Said this is a pride game. He's like, this is a pride game. Like, it's down there a must win for a lot of reasons other than the record. Like, this is a pride game. It don't get even worse because we got the Rams after that. Then we got the Rams after the Ravens. Then the Seahawks in Germany. Then that's the bye week. So these next 3 games, you got to get to the bye week, above water, or heads may be rolling. So I don't know, man. Like I just think at the end of the day, bro, the offense has to show up. They have to. Like, the defense can hold the fort as long as they can, but the offense gotta help them, man. They gotta score. They gotta execute. They gotta get in the red zone and turn those 3s into 7s. Like, they have to show up. Other than that, the defense won't be able to
catch the balls that are in our hands.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Nick, I mean, that's something too. Again, I do want to close this out a little bit, but and I just fucking love talking to y'all. But how many other shots did we take in the field after Mike Evans dropped that initial one?
None.
I know we got. I
I
know it was issues with enough time to throw on several of those. But how many times we actually take another shot down the field? And another thing, I know I'm going back to back on questions, but Brady felt like he was feeling fucking ghosts. It looked like he was bailing.
Like, where are you throwing?
He was right, and he was throwing. He was like just throwing the ball into the dirt really early. It wasn't just last week, but it's been the past couple weeks that he's done it. And I understand that you got a left guard who's a turnstile right now. That's the life of a rookie.
That's an understatement. He's bad, man.
Boy, it is rough.
I mean, that's his blind side. So if he's seeing ghosts, it's because of that. Then you got to think about it. Donovan Smith isn't 100% with the bad elbow, and he loses his share of battles each game. So
yeah.
Then you got the rookie center not the rookie center, but 1 year center Hainsey that is doing decent, but he's no Ryan Jensen. He's none of that. So I mean, it's I think you got to think about it. It's a 45-year-old man. He don't like to get hit, and he's relying on a lot of young guys to keep him upright. So yeah, he's seeing ghosts. He's getting rid of the ball very fast. Like, he's getting rid of the ball faster this year than any other seasons he's been in the books, like by a whole second.
Yeah.
Like, he's not waiting. Like, if his first or second read is not open, he's looking to get rid of it, because in his head, he has a clock that's like, okay, one Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, the ball got to go. Sometimes he'll just down there give up on the play before it's even anybody around him, because he's thinking, if I don't get rid of the ball, I don't have nowhere to run. I'm going to throw it in the dirt to move on, because the play just didn't work. Nobody didn't get open. So I've saw those plays, and I'm like, what the hell he was throwing? But to me, what I think of it is like, he just know he has a certain clock in his head, and he has to get rid of the ball. So yeah, man, it's like, yeah, he's seeing ghosts, but I can get it, because that left guard, Luke Gedeke, he hasn't been good all year. He's been bad. And like those teams, like the Steelers we're losing to, Cam Hayward literally took that game over by himself, eating Luke Gedeke's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, he couldn't do anything. We couldn't run the ball, because every time we ran the ball, Cam Hayward was beating him in the inside. Like, even with the Panthers and Derrick Brown, like, and I mean, Tybo said it. He was like, hey, we're going to play a defensive line, a good interior defensive line down there every week. So it's not going to get any easier for Luke Gedeke. And I think that's one of the main catalysts to some of the offensive struggles, along with the play calling and other things that just ain't good. We don't have a good interior blocking. We don't have a good interior offensive line. And for a guy like Brady, that's paramount. We go from Jensen Marpet to Hainsey and Luke Gedeke. Like, that's not ideal. Like, you're right. So that's not ideal, man. So man, like, shit. Like, I just think it starts with the offensive line. We're losing the battle in the trenches on the offensive side. So when you going against guys like Cam Hayward, Derrick Brown, Grady Jarrett, these guys, that's shooting fish in a barrel. Like,
Yeah.
and for Brady, yo, you would like for him to take more shots down the field like he had with Mike Evans. I don't even think we ran that play again. Like, I would like for us
No,
to run that play again. Like,
no, see, he
you
burned the shit out that boy.
Mike Evans can win that 1-on-1. And the fun fact was
That's why I was so surprised. I was
yeah,
so surprised they didn't try it again.
yeah, and the Panthers weren't playing a lot of two high safety, man. They were playing a lot of single high, but they was doing it because they felt like their defensive line was able to get home without blitzing. So they can just drop guys back and have Brian Burns and Derrick Brown tee off on Tom Brady. If they know they can stop the run, what else we're gonna do? We're gonna pass. So it's yeah, I wish we would have went back to that, get more down the field shots with Mike Evans. I think he tried again with Mike Evans, but I think Mike Evans stopped running on the route. He didn't know the ball was going that deep. He tried to basically throw a little jump ball to Mike Evans, but Mike Evans, the communication went there. The chemistry, to Nicky point, wasn't there. Mike Evans kind of slowed down, cut back on the route, and Brady kind of threw it far out to kind of give him a 50-50 shot in the end zone. But that's because they were playing single high. They weren't playing a lot of two-man zone. So, man, like I don't know, man. Like it's a lot of things, dog. It's a lot of things.
You know, man, and you and I spoke about this, and Nick, I want to get your opinion on this. And let me know if you got to talk about it. I'm good. I don't want to keep y'all longer than I need.
I'm good. I'm on Central Time, man.
I assume both my kids are already in bed.
Oh,
yeah.
So let me go and ask you this. And Slim, you and I talked about this, but Nick, I want to get your opinion because we talked about, we know what the hell, this ain't nothing new. Like, nobody's getting hurt in game, and then all of a sudden here comes an unknown offensive lineman at a position and blah blah blah.
Right.
It's on tape. Gadecki is weak and he's a rookie, and Byron Leftwich hadn't done a goddamn thing to help scheme this man or help somebody do something to get some pressure off this boy. So I don't blame Gadecki. I know he's working hard. I know he's trying, but he's going up against some top-notch defensive linemen. The scheming has to be there. There has to be some kind of workaround to kind of get this man some help. I mean, I know we only have, 3 tight ends on. Where's the additional tight end? I mean, I know we got Cole Keith who's down playing the fullback role, and he ain't really doing that great a lot of times. And Cade Otton is more of a receiving type.
I was going to say he's so good, but I wish he could block a little bit better.
Yeah, Kay's all right. Kay is going to work out. Kay is going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think he's solid on the blocking side. Not the blocking side. He's good on the receiving side, but the blocking is an issue right now. O'Keefe is the guy who can, he's just a hard-nosed tight end / fullback, and he's doing the blocking, but it's not working. It's not working as far as like getting help for Gadecki because he, like you said, Celeb, he is getting whooped. And again, I don't blame this dude. This dude he's doing what he's doing what he can. I don't think he's slacking, but he's doing
the best he can. But he's getting singled out. He's not getting the help. He's going 1-on-1 with Pro Bowl, All-Pro D tackles every week.
Exactly.
And I think I know you're going. This is like, why is Byron Leftwich not scheming up any help to kind of just really relieve some of that pressure off him, get him out of 1-on-1 situations with the Grady Jarretts and Derrick Browns and Casey Haywards of the world. And it's a very good point, man. It's just like, why? Like, that's the baffling thing. Like, I think as an offense coordinator, you will know what your weak links are, what your weak spots are. And I know Brady is telling them, and it's very evident that when you watch the film that when this guy's 1-on-1 with some of these notable defensive tackles that he simply can't hold up, like, is like, where's the chip block said? Do we leave a Cole Keith in the backfield just to just catch him if he's busting through Gadecki? Do we have Cole Keith come help him block, or do we leave
like a spy on Lamar? Can we put a spy behind our O-line?
Right.
But the thing is, trust me, it's 31 of the teams in the league. Not everybody has 5 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. There's teams out there with bad offensive linemen, but you don't hear, that their offense basically can't get off the ground because that offensive line, or particular offensive lineman, is not holding up his weight. Like, it's weird. Like, but once again, they come down to scheming. They come down to just the system. The system is predicated on talent, not ingenuity. Once again, this Bruce Arians left with offensive system. It's an old school system where my guy's better than yours, and it's talent based. It's not ingenuity. It's not one of those systems where you see out in 49 with Kyle Shanahan, where he's moving guys around, and he has Trent Williams coming out from the left side, being a lead blocker on the toss to the right. Like, it's none of that going on. So it's basically, hey, either you're good or you're not. And if you're not good, it's going to be shown. Like, not saying, okay, where you're not good at this, let me scheme something up so you don't get exposed so we can still operate the ball.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people's problem is coming in as far as the play calling and scheme, because it's evident, like, goddamn, can you help this side of the line? Like, what are we, or just, is it, that's how the system works? Hey, every man for themselves, man, it's mono a mono. Like, and
that's some
they don't
shit.
believe, but I remember Bruce Arians said this, and he said that he don't believe in leaving the running back in the backfield, because then that's one less person the quarterback got to throw to. He don't really like saying, okay, stay back here and block or kind of help. He's like, well, we need him to release so he could. I mean, but once again, this is the system. So I think Brady made his tweaks and everything. I think Brady can always make adjustments at the line of scrimmage and kind of tell, hey, Lenny, stay back. Watch the left side, watch the right side. But man, I would. It doesn't take 7 weeks to know that Lou Gehrig needs help.
Right.
And they've already said in the press conference, oh, we got to give him some help. You didn't do that against the Panthers. Like he still was getting his lunch ate by Derrick Brown. Like, right. And I, like I say,
it's awesome.
And the thing is like, I was having a conversation with this guy on Twitter. I said, well, yeah, the play calling and scheming could be better, but sometimes it's really hard to say if the play call was right, because sometimes Lou Gehrig could get blowed up so bad in the beginning of the play. If the play was right, it wouldn't matter because he gets blowed up and the defenders are in the backfield. I think a lot of those 1 yard run, 2 yard runs where it may be the right call, you would think that Lenny can push and bulldoze his way for 1 yard, but a lot of times he simply just don't have nowhere to go. Like, it's the defenders are already there.
It hadn't been working. It hadn't been working. So what tells you that it's going to?
I don't know, Nikki. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
He's like, screw you guys.
I had a piss or something. But nah, man, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's frustrating. I mean, each Sunday in and out. Like I say, you are in Albuquerque. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee, and we can look at the game and say, okay, they about to run the ball with Lenny. They about to do this. They about to do this. You can down make some good educated choices or predictions on what's going to happen next. So I just think, man, this is how I feel, Nikki. As a BUCS fan, I just hope it's some method to this madness that's going on with this.
I hope so too. And again, I think we can. I think we can pull it together. That's why I say I'm nowhere near putting a fork in the season and saying we're done. I don't think we're there yet. If we lose as bad as we did, then I might change that tone a little bit. But we got 10 more games.
Yeah, we got 10 more games, man. I like I say, because like to Robert's point, ever since the Brady era started, we've always had just the offense could never just get rolling. Like it was like there's always one flat tire on the car with the offense. Like something is like maybe these things
years and years before Brady, years and years.
Yeah, it just seems like it seems like it cannot gel, it cannot operate smoothly. Like I think the best game the offense looked like, oh damn, like we really are who we are, was against Detroit Lions. That we blew them out like by 40 points. But once again, that's Detroit Lions. They
29th ranked defense,
31st. So like, yeah, man, with the offense,
right?
Yeah, right. So that's the only time I feel like, okay, yeah, they really just showed them, hey, you don't belong on the field with us. But all the rest of the games, I think offensively, it's just been just like they're trying to drive a bike uphill each game. Like when I went to that Packer game, it was so weird to go to a game between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and look at a lackluster offensive game. Like everyone thought that game was going to be high scoring. It's going to be a lot of touchdowns. The Kenneth's going to be firing all day. Like, and it just looked like a preseason game.
Yeah, and man, just for gits and shiggles, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I used to try to tell cats, like, hey, this offense ain't really what y'all think it is. And y'all, we really need to dial in on this. Just going to the Packers game. That Packers game, this how that game was. This how the Buccaneers offense looked. This is the drive summary on that fucking game. Field goal to start the game, first possession. Field goal, punt, fumble, punt, field goal, punt, touchdown. I've been telling cats for years, like, yo, if y'all really want to see what this offense is, or even what the defense is, if you don't watch a damn game, if you don't watch a game, whatever you do, don't go look at stats about how many yards people got and what they scored. Go look at the go look at the drive summary. If you don't look at nothing else, go look at the drive summary. Go see what the defense is putting up with. Go see what the offense is doing. Go see how many yards they're actually driving on the touchdown drive. Don't tell me the damn score was fucking 31-17 and then talk about how good the offense is when the longest drive they had to go to score points was 30-40 yards because the Bucs defense gave them the ball that goddamn close to scoring. Like, go look at some of the stuff that makes sense that you can actually get information from, the stuff that you need to know rather than the stuff that you want to hear.
How dare you, Robert? How dare you stop this? How dare you?
Hey, look, man, it's God, man. I love this team. I love the fans. I love all this, but man, it's such. And again, like y'all said, I'm glad y'all corrected me, or you guys kind of got me back a little bit. Like, this could be fandom all over the place. This is every team is probably dealing with this kind of foolishness in every other sport. But I don't give a fuck because I'm only talking about the Bucs. I'm kidding, Nikki. No, but serious business, man. I mean, it's just that, again, when the defense was bad, I called out the defense. When the defense ain't playing up to their responsibility or playing up to their talent level, I call this shit out. And Nikki, I know we were talking. You were saying that the Bucs offense always had tendencies of not doing shit before Tom Brady. I don't know if we ever had at any stage an abundance of what we would call an abundance of talent and abundance of even positivity.
That's spot on. Back in those days, we ain't got nobody.
No, and we had a literal liability, full clip, full-on liability. I won't even say it. You know who the hell it was at the quarterback position. I mean, full-blown liability. Like, and that was literally every 5-6 seasons we had that, and that kind of jaded people even more because people had such high hopes for that, and they literally completely turned off their minds to believe that the defense could actually be playing well. If we weren't winning games. And again, I said it then too. I'm like, hey, look, just go look at what's happening. Like, we literally lost about, I want to say it was 17 games. No, I'm sorry. It was 13 games. We lost by single possession while giving the ball away 2 times or more.
Yeah, more than 2 times. Yeah.
Like that, and I remember pointing this out like in 2016 when the Bucs went 9-7. Everybody hated Dirk Cutter and Mike Smith. I'm like, y'all, look, like, just pay attention to what's going on. Like, this ain't what you think it is. And again, this offense, this team, this not being able to scheme our weak players into better positions and put our players in positions to win, like Leftwich and Arians have been saying since they arrived. It hasn't happened. It just has not happened. And then for this to be the culmination of it for the past 2 weeks, for people to just catch on to it, I'm like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I mean, I don't understand.
You got to understand it, right? Though, because like you actually watch, you're actually looking for these reasons. You're digging deeper into these things. Most other people that you're coming in contact with are just part of the echo chamber. That's why they're so surprised, because they're not digging. They're just regurgitating the bullshit that gets thrown around by people with loud ass megaphones.
There you go. She hit it right on the nail, boss.
Hey, goddamn Princess Nikki.
She hit it right on the nail with that one.
Does it again.
Mic drop. Good night, y'all. We'll walk out on my high note now. Okay, thanks.
Man. Serious business, man. Before you get out of here, again, thank you so so very kindly. I love talking to you. It's been too long. I know motherhood has come and graced you and taken a lot of your time.
I know.
But it's so fucking good to talk to a true Bucks fan. I don't give a damn where you're from, what your gender is. You're one of the dopest fucking Bucks fans I have ever come in contact with.
Love you. I
Fucking love
appreciate
you.
the compliment.
Um,
You're gonna make me cry.
don't, because I'll be calling you again next week to talk about this Ravens game.
That's cool.
But again, that is Princess Nikki. Again, she makes the smart move and stay away from a whole lot of foolishness on social media. But Nikki, do you want to give your Twitter handle?
I am at BUCS Princess. It's pretty easy. I'm pretty easy to find on Twitter. So I enjoy the banter. I just don't like. I get pulled away from my phone constantly. So it's really not that I don't want to engage. It's just sometimes it may take me 3 days to respond. And I don't mean to.
Oh, shit.
Or I usually respond a lot.
Yeah. Again, one of the knowledgeable Bucks fans, and again, a favorite, and not a whole lot of bullshit either. I mean, basically none. Like straight talk, serious business. Good to talk to you.
Like, I didn't know this. I learned this later, and I don't know how it happened. But one of the best compliments I think I've always gotten, and I think Robert, you can attest to this. Like, you knew me on Twitter for years before we met in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when people would tell me, like, dang, you are literally the same person online as you are in person. And I was like, I guess I was like, I don't understand what that means.
Right.
Until I really started seeing like some people that are just, I don't know, I don't want to call anybody out, but like,
you go ahead. And they ain't listening to this one no way, but I'll put it out.
No, I know, but like people are a little bit socially awkward that can like engage online, but then when you meet them in person, they're just like super like.
Yeah, I had that experience when I came to
for 5 years. Like, I don't know, it's just weird, but with me, what you see is what you get. I mean, whether it's on Twitter, on a podcast, or if we hang out, like this is just me. I don't know how to be anything but me.
That's odd. I had that experience when I came down to that was my first time going to a Bucks game. When I went to Tampa for the Packer game. You know, I kind of know people from Facebook and social media and stuff. And then I went to the What the Book tailgate, and I kind of started running across these people. And then I get talking. I'm like, you know, like I don't know, like you didn't get the same feeling you get from them on social media. Like in person, they kind of awkward, but on social media, they kind of this enormous personality.
Yeah, it's now my favorite compliment that I get.
Oh yeah, you seem like a real one.
I didn't understand it, and it took me a while to kind of come to that. But I'm like, I guess because like I don't know how to be anything but what I am. Yeah. So when you're like you present this way and then you're not, it's like I just don't comprehend. I don't work that way. I don't know.
Well, you one of the good ones. Exactly. Stay that way. You one of the good ones and the real ones. That's what if that's the compliment. Like, hey, you're so real. You actually are what the fuck you are, which is dope. You represent yourself online the way you represent yourself in person. And so many cats don't know how to do that. Also, Big Slam, man, again, always a pleasure catching up with you, man. We don't do it enough.
Base too, Slim. Like I know we probably haven't talked as much, but it's nice to meet you and get to talk with you. You've been a lot of fun and you have a lot of good insight. So I appreciate being here with you.
Likewise, and I appreciate that, Nick.
Again, Big Slam, just getting his podcast rolling. Need some more subscribers. Need some more people to dig in and check him out. Memphis, Tennessee, Bucks fan, Swords and Cannons. You want to let them know where you're from and how to get in contact with you if they want some good conversation, man.
Cool. All right, Big Slam out of Memphis, Tennessee. Got my new podcast up and rolling. It's Swords and Cannons podcast. You can find it on Twitter at SC Bucks Pod. The Facebook page, Swords and Cannons Podcast. I haven't got an Instagram page or anything like that, but it's up and coming. You can find it on YouTube. Got a few episodes on it. I'm gonna kind of redo it, retweak some things. Like I say, starting out, you had to do it to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work. But I tried to stay active on Twitter to kind of keep the content going, keep the profile going, keep the name out there. But be expecting some definitely some new content on the way. Just kind of to keep you guys up to date on my takes on certain Buccaneer news and transactions, even transactions across the league, man. Like I say, I'm an avid football fan, not just a Bucks fan. I love the sport altogether, man. Like right now, my TV's on NFL Network. Like that's all I watch. Like I just love football. Football is the best sport to me. It's near and dear to me, man. It's something that is a good outlet for me. It keeps me kind of grounded. I just love the sport. I love the players. So yeah, I definitely need to get those subscribers up, man. If people listen to this and they like where I come from, far as my perspective, or they just want a different kind of voice of what's going on Buccaneer wise, yeah, definitely check me out at Swords and Cannons Podcast, SC Books Pod at Twitter. Kind of active on there. I kind of like going back and forth with the world about books, news, and stuff like that. But man, yeah, man, you can find me there. Or if you can't find me, find Robin. He'll tell you where to find me.
What the truth is, that's where you can find them. Yeah, man. Again, I appreciate y'all both, man. Like serious business. I can't thank you enough. Again, I like hearing. Like I said, I like talking to cats who got a different perspective other than what I have. I can't learn a damn thing if I'm only talking to people who are like me.
There you go.
And that ain't worth a damn. It never has been. Cool enough to talk to not just a familiar face and not just somebody who had a different perspective, but speaking to Nikki, you kind of touched on earlier, speaking to somebody different lifestyle, different walk of life, different gender, different every damn thing. You and I, we all three of us all had the same conundrum at one point, having to get information from so far away and dig and deal with that kind of stuff. I'm native Mississippi, born and raised there. Was a Bucks fan since '94, since Hardy Nickerson hit the scene, and having to wait a week and a half just to get information for a highlight of something on fucking ESPN, and having to dig and try to find stuff, man. And end up living in cities in which we were division rivals in, living in Minneapolis when we were part of the NFC Central and shit like that. Yeah. And having to, just deal with a whole bunch of stuff, man. But again, I love talking to people with a different perspective than my own, even if we don't get along in the end, or not get along, even if we don't agree at the end, being able to just share information and be able to take pieces and bits and every damn thing and not actually have a debate about every damn thing. I mean, that's always been my motive.
Is fine. Argument is not.
This is true.
There you go.
This is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Cool. I'm down for a good debate, but I'm not finna argue and keyboard battle with you now, man. We can debate and we can exchange educational perspectives and exchange different things, man. Like I told one guy, man, as many stats you can say about a player that make them look bad, it's just as many stats out there I can prove to make them look good. So it's about having respect, being able to communicate, and not
and
take
the last part of agreeing to disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, and still laugh about it. You can disagree to disagree and still laugh about it and still be cool and stuff like that. So that's for me, man. Like I said, me and Robin don't agree on a lot of things, but we can communicate our differences and come to a middle ground and keep it pushing and team up and go get some people that don't go with both of us on what we're saying. But that's the whole beauty of it, man. At the end of the day, what we have in common is the love for the Bucks and just being tied into this sport and being tied into the team on a weekly basis. So that's just what it is, man. It's good for me. Like I say, it keeps me grounded. It gives me something else to do. It gives me another avenue to be involved with the team. Like I say, just traveling to Tampa for the first time, going to the home game and stuff like that. That checks off my bucket list and stuff like that.
Amazing thing. Your first game at home is so amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a ball, man. I had a ball, man.
I remember when I went, it was so long ago, but it was like, look at all these people. Like, they understand me. Like, they get me.
I had a ball, man. I had a ball. And Tampa, a pretty cool community. They have really good fans. Everybody kind of, when I got down there and kind of let everybody know I was there, people kind of showed me plenty of love. I went to a meet and greet. Like I said, I went to the What the Bucks tailgate. I think now I can officially say I'm a real Bucks fan because I went through everything I heard people complain about when they go to the home games about the Tampa Heat and not sitting on the visitor side because the sun beams on the visitor side. So I got tickets on the home side, and I was actually down there when Hurricane Ian hit, and I couldn't get out. So I survived a hurricane. I survived the Tampa Heat. So I called when I got back to Memphis. I said, you know what? I've been baptized. I'm gonna call myself a real Bucks fan now. I survived a hurricane. Huh?
You'll be back.
Oh, definitely. I'll definitely be back. I'm trying to get down there maybe once a year.
I try to go home once a year for sure.
Yeah, I'll try to get there once a year, man. And even after the Brady era, it'll probably be maybe twice a year because the tickets will be cheaper. So who knows?
I'm ready for that.
Hey, I'll still have my 2 season tickets until I'm dead. So y'all
Yeah,
get at me whenever you want to come down.
Leave them to me in
cool,
your
cool.
will.
No, I would do that.
Give them to my boys. You ain't even
No.
gonna want to go back to like what the Buck
There-
tailgate. I mean, if what the Buck tailgate, I know it is. It's got its own life now, but let's even give a credit to where credit is due. You know, Derek Fournier is what the Buck. He was for me as a Displaced fan, the educator, the realist, the what, you know, before podcasts were a thing. That's, you know, I named my son Derek. Like Derek is one of my best friends, and I, you know, give credit to where credit is due, because for us Displaced fans specifically, it was people like him that started all of this and really like kept us who were out of state connected to the team and learning when we couldn't find the coverage that we were looking for.
Yeah.
Right. I 100% agree with that. I was kind of late to the party. I was already in Florida, I think, when he was already doing his podcast. So I didn't move to Florida to 2002. I started listening to the podcast. I don't even remember when I started listening to the podcast. And but yeah, he was one of the cats who just didn't give a damn. He told it like he called it. He called it like he saw it, and that was kind of what it was. Like he has a different background than myself. Like he actually he coached like a younger football team and so forth. So it's not NFL knowledge, it's not college knowledge, but it is a different level of understanding.
He gets off on those X's and O's in the chess match of it, and I learned so much from Derek. I still learn so much from Derek. We've been in bars diagramming plays on napkins. You know, we've done it. It was some of my best times with my boy. You know, again, I named my damn kid Derek.
Again, it's straight shooter cat, man, and I love him. The first time I did the podcast, I actually had him and Chris Fisher on. I wish I could have done a better job when we did the live stream. Everything basically went to hell, like this one went to hell right before I went on. But again, straight shooter, man. And if you like straight shooting, you like just a different perspective. If you like just having information, hey, check out the OutsideLeverage.com. That's the website that I end up running. I've been trying to be better about posting more content more frequently. I just live a crazy life when it comes to work and film production and all that stuff. So I'm always on the run. I'm literally traveling back and forth.
Kids, I travel for work, man. It's you try to find time for it, but you know, hey, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more dedicated, man, and actually make it. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, it's OutsideLeverage.com. On Twitter, you can find me on Outside Leverage. Those pretty much my main two focuses there. I am on Facebook and all that stuff. You can find it under the same name. But yeah, man, hopefully, God willing, I get more guests like Nikki, get more guests like Slim on more frequently, and we have these conversations. We actually bouncing stuff off each other, and it's not have to be these two. Just any Bucks fan that got a good head on their shoulders, who's willing to listen, who's willing to actually have a conversation, who's willing to talk, actually willing to put in a little bit of work and actually get your opinions and put it in form where it's understandable and it's not just a spewing out a bunch of foolishness and or going along with whatever narrative is being parroted that week or whatever. If you were one of those people, I would love to chat with you. I would love to talk to you. I would love to get where you're coming from. I would love to get a better understanding of what other fans are feeling and what they're saying and what they're thinking. If it's not the same bullshit that's being pushed out. And if it is the same bullshit that's pushed out, please bring that perspective here and actually give me some references to where you're getting your information and how you start digesting that information. I would love to have the conversation. That is something I'm so open to. And I know a lot of fans who are really open to listening to these types of conversations rather than have 2 or 3 people all agreeing about the same bullshit for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because I see it and I hear it, I peep it, and I'm like, yeah, all right. This is why I miss What the Buck podcast. This is why I miss Chris Fisher's Bucks Brief podcast. And I got friends who got podcasts as well. But like I said, it's got to be a change of guard. It's got to be a change from the top to the bottom. There's got to be something else other than the same bullshit. And I'm trying to do my part, even though I've not done a great job at it. Trying to do a little bit better. But God willing, if you're a Bucks fan and you're still stuck around and listen to this, man, I appreciate you. God willing, you get home safely. Either on your drive or you're at the house, whatever you're doing, you're listening. I hope you all having a hell of a day. I hope by the end of the day tomorrow, we can start looking forward to a victory on Thursday, and we'll all be able to talk about it on Friday morning.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Man, go Bucks. Jeez. I got the handful, but go Bucks. I'm be there watching.
I'm going to be there in person, 7-hour drive. Going straight to whatever fucking tailgate I can get to. Drag my black ass off.
Yeah.
Again, y'all, go Bucks. I'll let y'all on Friday morning. And I'm about this bitch.